By Bud Light, the less filling light beer with the first name in taste. And by GMAC, the financing people from General Motors. Pleasant good afternoon, everybody. Jay Randolph to call the play, and alongside, it's a pleasure to have Bob Trumpy with us to analyze the action this afternoon. Bob, the 49ers are undefeated. Bill Walsh, when you think of the 49ers and Walsh, you think about a team that throws the football, but really the statistics belie that.
Yeah, Jay, in 81, they went to the Super Bowl and won throwing. 1984, they're 6-0 undefeated, and the biggest part of their game this year has been running the ball. It sets up the pass. This is a team now that plays with a lot more authority. They can control the line of scrimmage, and Wendell Tyler, their running back, is the big gun. This guy's off to his best start ever as a running back. And for the 49ers, it's been years since they've had a 1,000-yard rusher. Wendell Tyler is well on his way.
Steeler fans know that their club is banged up, especially over on the offensive side. They've got problems. Lipp's not in the lineup today, and Malone stepping in for Woodley.
Yeah, great responsibility for Mark Malone, too. They've never won with Mark Malone as a starting quarterback. They're also having problems with their guards. They're a little shaky in there, and the guards for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense are their critical. That's the critical point of the offense. So a tough nut today for the Pittsburgh Steelers against a very good defense, a very aggressive defense of the San Francisco 49ers.
We're getting set for the opening kickoff here as Ray Wersching will put it in play for the San Francisco 49ers. There's Chuck Noll, 52 years old, the head man of the Steelers, who are 3-3. Bill Walsh, of course, coaches the San Francisco 49ers. They're 6-0. Miami has defeated Houston this afternoon, and the Dolphins, still undefeated now, 7-0. Wersching, who grew up here in California but was born in Austria, ready to put it in play. Spencer is the deep back set to receive, number 36. Hope you'll enjoy it wherever you are this afternoon. Spencer at the 2, at the 10, 15, up the middle, across the 20. Spencer out to the 25-yard line. And ready to go on offense with Mark Malone stepping in for David Woodley. You see the rookies there, Aaron Berg along with Thompson and the tight end Kolodziejski doing all the work over there with Cunningham out of the lineup. Ilkin, Voorhees, Webster, the rookie Terry Long, and Larry Brown up front. First down. Ball over the 20. Let's call it at the 22. They spotted it there. Aaron Berg and Pollard in the backfield. That's Pollard coming in motion. The give to the little guy, the Ivy Leaguer, Aaron Berg from Colgate, gets about 2 yards. The tackle was made by 57, Dan Buns. Williamson, 27. He's the strong safety. It's Pillars with Tuiasosopo and Board in the defensive line for the 49ers. Buns, Ellison, Reynolds, and Keena Turner. And in the defensive backfield, a talented group. Lott, Wright, Williamson, and Hicks. Second down, about 7. The handoff going to Pollard. Pollard across the 35, out to the 39-yard line, and a first down.
14 yards on the carry by Pollard, and that is that play that for years the Pittsburgh Steelers ran with Franco Harris. Williamson on the tackle, underneath handoff. You see the guards pull Terry Long, 74, good kick-out block. That is absolutely crucial for Pittsburgh. This is a play-action team, and if they can't run the football, it takes away the threat of the play-action.
Ball at the 39-yard line, just underway on a gorgeous afternoon at Candlestick Park. Malone has time, he throws, it's complete. That's John Stallworth, number 82, hit by Eric Wright, 21. Stallworth has set an all-time Pittsburgh Steeler mark. That was his 340th career catch. He goes by, of course, Lynn Swann last week in the game against Miami, but he would have rather been able to put some points on the board in that game.
Jay, I noticed Eric Wright, number 21 of San Francisco, was with Stallworth. San Francisco likes to lock cornerbacks on wide receivers. That might be a matchup all day long.
Abercrombie's now in the backfield. They give it to Pollard again, and Pollard is down to the 47-yard line. Good blocking by Webster, the brilliant center, number 52, and Tunch Ilkin, the left tackle, 62. Tuiasosopo, the nose man, made the tackle, and we've got a couple of folks shook up there.
One from each side.
Tuiasosopo, the nose man, is the 49er shaken up, and it looked like Pollard But Pollard's up, and so is Tuiasosopo.
Jay, I think Tuiasosopo was hit by his own man. This is a very aggressive defensive backfield of the San Francisco 49ers. They like to fly into the line of scrimmage. The last couple of 3 years, defensive backs have led this team in tackling.
And they are a talented bunch. A first down. Thompson split wide to the right as Malone rolls out, then throws over the middle. It is complete to Stallworth. Stallworth inside the 40-yard line, short of a first down. That time they used the rollout. Buns 57 on the tackle along with the right end board.
Very encouraging. Watch Malone look to the outside. Weegie Thompson, primary receiver. He recognizes he's covered. Now watch him look to the back to the inside. There's Stallworth. For Chuck Noll, that's got to be very encouraging, and also Tom Moore. If Malone has a problem, he holds the ball too long.
Steelers coming out for Chuck Noll with a lot of intensity on offense. 2nd down and 3. And the call goes to Pollard. Pollard got about a yard. Ricky Ellison, number 50. The inside linebacker out of USC, who made the all-rookie team last year, made the tackle.
Made first contact in the backfield and destroyed what the Pittsburgh Steelers were trying to do. Interesting that this San Francisco defense, it's somewhat of a misnomer to have a starting lineup. They change it so frequently, Jay.
McCall is now at left outside linebacker, 53, replacing Buns. 3rd down, 2. Coming in motion, Pollard to give up the middle. And Ehrenberg is close to the first down. I don't know if he got it or not. Jack Reynolds, 64, came up to make the play.
I mentioned the aggressive defensive backfield of the San Francisco 49ers. This is Ronnie Lott with Kolodziejski. And a little extracurricular activity. It's close enough to measure. I noticed Eric Wright in there to make the tackle. Well, these guys are 190 pounds, but they play like linebackers.
Tuiasosopo with a bruised hip. Do they have it? Just. First down for the Steelers at the 37-yard line.
Good drive so far by Pittsburgh. They've been able to really mix it up, Jay.
Abercrombie, number 34, comes back into the backfield to replace Ehrenberg. And the Steelers, taking the opening kickoff now, have driven to the 37-yard line. 11 minutes to play in this first quarter. Stallworth comes to the near sideline. Number 82, Weegie Thompson set out right. And they sweep it to Abercrombie over the right side, inside the 30-yard line. Terry Long, number 74, doing a nice job of blocking. The tackle made by Jack Reynolds, number 64, the 15-year veteran out of Tennessee.
This offense of the Pittsburgh Steelers historically put the bulk of the pressure on their offensive guards. They got to trap, they got to pull, they got to be good pass blockers. They have to have good foot speed. They are individually very talented athletes.
Interesting call for Malone here on 2nd and 1. 9th play of the drive coming up. And he's going to use play action, and he's going to go for the score and overthrows Stallworth, who was very well covered by Eric Wright.
Jay, they had Ehrenberg wide open down the middle. He took went into the line like he was going to block on that underneath handoff weak side sweep that Pittsburgh runs. Ehrenberg was totally uncovered. They may come back with that play, and look to Ehrenberg.
Malone at the controls today for the Pittsburgh Steelers with the concussion problem to David Woodley. It occurred early in the Miami game last week, the second concussion that he's had in this 1984 season. 3rd down and 1. Using motion and banging up the middle, Pollard. Pollard has the first down at the 26-yard line. Pollard, who comes into the day averaging 3.4 per carry, banged his way in there.
Coming into this ballgame, Pittsburgh had averaged about 34% of their third downs converted into first downs. They've had 3 in this initial drive. Taking quite a bit of time, too, eating almost 6 minutes off the clock. Gotta help Pittsburgh.
49ers, Trump, give you a lot of looks on defense.
Yes, they do, but so far Pittsburgh has handled it very well. They've not been excited at all. 5 defensive backs now for San Francisco.
And Thompson and Stallworth set to the left side. Malone steps up, double pumps, he throws, and it's complete. That's Weegee Thompson inside the 5-yard line, a 24-yard pickup. They set both of the wide receivers to the left side, and Malone made it happen to Weegee Thompson, the youngster from Florida State.
Well, the encouraging thing is no penalties. Here's Stallworth. You can see that Weegee Thompson's got man coverage with Ronnie Lott, which is rather unusual to see Lott get beat. This is a 6-0 football team, San Francisco. You wonder if they get too much spill with themselves, they figure all they got to do is come out here and play. Pittsburgh's taking it to them right now.
The Steelers would like to have a double tight end alignment, but Cunningham is on injured reserve. The handoff goes to Ehrenberg. Ehrenberg for a touchdown. Ehrenberg, the young rookie, out of Colgate, the all-time leading rusher, going in from 2 yards out. And this young man who broke Van Egan and Hubbard's records at Colgate looked very sharp over the right side.
12 plays on the drive, Jay. No penalties, no turnovers. Very encouraging for Pittsburgh. In the last 3 games, Pittsburgh's had 23 penalties, 6 interceptions, 13 fumbles, 10 total turnovers.
A point after, Gary Anderson out of the hold of Craig Colquitt. Penalty marker is down. Penalty marker down. Our referee today is the veteran Pat Haggerty.
Illegal formation, offense.
An illegal formation on the try. They'll do it over.
Jay, that touchdown, first time Pittsburgh scored in 5 games in the first quarter.
And an offensive line that has had problems. Certainly with Wolfley out of there, it's been trouble for them. But the offensive line deserves a lot of credit on that drive.
Yeah.
8 rushes, 4 passes. Malone 3 out of 4, 38 yards. Now the point after comes from the 15-yard line. A 25-yard PAT with Colquitt to hold for Anderson. And it is good. So we have 8:39 left to play. We're in the first quarter here at Candlestick, and the Steelers have the lead.
Nothing works like a Chevy truck. Nothing works like a Chevy truck. So bring out the sun, bring on the fun. You got the goods, get out and run. Bring on the mud, bring on the muck. Bring home the bacon in a Chevy truck.
When you need a truck that plays just as hard as it works, you need a Chevy.
Nothing works like a Chevy truck. You're off to a driving start. Big A. The first letter in auto parts. We've got a store with the parts you need. A man who knows the way. Big A. The first letter in auto parts is all you need to say.
Good job. Yeah, we've got all the parts you need because we're the first letter in auto parts.
Big A, Big A, Big A.
With Bob Trumpy, Jay Randolph at Candlestick Park, San Francisco, and the Steelers with a most impressive drive, ready to put it in play. In the fourth quarter, Kansas City beating San Diego this afternoon. That game at Arrowhead Stadium. The Jets lead Cleveland by 4, fourth quarter. The Cardinals, they're playing well, beat Dallas last week, winning over Chicago. The Rams handled New Orleans. That's a final 28-10. And Miami wins number 7 on the year, 28-10 over Houston. Anderson kicking off. That's Harmon. He's going to come out. Derek Harmon at the 10, the 15, running room up the middle at the 20, 25, 30. Fine return by Harmon, averaging 27.6 per return. He brought it out 32 yards. Todd Seabaugh made the tackle. As you watch this action again, we'll be back with more right after this.
Give me a light. A Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
And I'll have a light. A Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
I like small cars.
We need more room.
Today, Chevrolet has a car for you, the midsize Celebrity.
Feel the room. Ride in style. Go in comfort every mile.
Enjoy midsize room with economy and a price that's surprisingly small. Celebrity.
Lots of stuff here. If this is today's Chevrolet, I like it.
And we need it.
Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy.
Live it.
Chevy.
Tonight on Knight Rider, a girl's in trouble, and Michael and Kit go undercover on the gridiron to save her.
I really don't enjoy this game.
Make some extra points tonight.
Pittsburgh has the lead early here. San Francisco going for their 7th victory of the year. Joe Montana at quarterback. 6th year now out of Notre Dame. Play action and throws and a bad pass. The pass intended for Dwight Clark, who's caught 15, thrown behind him, and Woodruff had the coverage. Montana with Tyler having a fine year. Craig, Clark, Mike Wilson, Russ Francis playing very, very well. Up front, they've got Quillen with Ayers and Cross. Bubba Paris, Alan Kennedy getting the start for Keith Von Horst today. Von Horst, the senior man, has had some problems. 2nd down. Montana rolling around. Penalty marker goes down. Montana steps out of bounds at the 33-yard line. And we might have a holding call. John Goodman, number 95, forced the pressure for the Steelers. Montana, 78 passes completed out of 131. 3rd-rated passer in the National Football League, number 1 in the NFC coming into today's game.
2nd straight week that Pittsburgh faces the top-rated passer in the conference. Last week, Marino. This week, Montana. What are you going to do here? Looks like they got holding. Do you take the penalty?
Jack Lambert. Lambert is in there, starting today. The 11-year man from Kent State with that bad toe.
Let's see if we can pick it up. This is from behind the defense. Montana very good. Oh, it looks like it's the nose man that gets by the center. Absolutely.
Holding, number 56, offense.
Well, they charged it against Robin Cole.
No, it was Fred Quillen, the center. And Gary Dunn was the guy who jumped right around Fred Quillen, the center.
56, Fred Quillen, that's correct. Looking at the wrong card there for a moment. There's Goodman, Dunn, and Gary. Merriweather, what a fine linebacker, and Lambert going as far as he can today. It's 2nd down now, and about 20. And Montana down the middle, and a fine catch by Dwight Clark. He's got a 1st down at the 43-yard line. 22 yards on the play. Eric Williams made the tackle. 63 games in a row that Clark has caught a pass.
Jay, I tend to think, watch 58 on your left. It seems to me that they're trying to take advantage of Jack Lambert. It is the fact that he hasn't played much. You see 56, Clark will come right behind 56 and 58. That's a double rotation, and they run Wilson 85 down the middle, influence the defensive backs. Clark right up underneath.
Well, that play shows you that this club can strike quickly. Put it on the ground now to Wendell Tyler, and Tyler is out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Tyler with 578 yards rushing coming into today's action and a 5.7 average. Donnie Shell, number 31, ran him out of bounds. The Steelers defensive backs, Woodruff, Washington, Shell, and Williams. It's a very good group. In fact, these two secondaries are about as good as you're going to find going up against these teams today.
Every team that the Pittsburgh Steelers have played tested young Mr. Washington. All he's responded with is 6 interceptions, 2 returned for touchdowns. Eventually they're going to catch on. That kid can play corner.
2nd down and 5. Montana with time, throws, and a nice catch is made by Mike Wilson. Wilson starting for Freddie Solomon today. Wilson, number 85 out of Washington State. 14-yard pickup. Hinkle 53, Lambert 58 made the tackle.
This is the best part of the Pittsburgh Steelers team, this defense. You see 56 Cole on the blitz. Picked up very well by the guard. That's an outstanding catch. And he catches it with his hands. Bill Walsh is an excellent receiver and quarterback coach. First thing he teaches anybody, you catch it with your hands first.
You speak from experience there. He coached you.
8 years.
It is a first down, and again, play action by Montana. He goes to the far sideline, too tall, intending it for Wilson again. Wilson, number 85, he was the top receiver in the playoffs. There's number 31, Donnie Shell, who had the coverage.
I talked to Tom Moore. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
Well, I'm sorry. We can watch these scores while you make the point. Giants win it.
Okay, I was going to say the offensive coordinator of the Pittsburgh Steelers said that one of the problems they face against San Francisco is with all the motion, all the formation, it really takes a lot of time to prepare for the San Francisco 49ers. That particular case, you saw Donnie Shell talking to the cornerback. He ended up covering a wide receiver, which is wrong. That's not supposed to happen.
On second down, Tyler gets the call, and he is down on a fine play by Keith Gary. Gary, number 92, the second-year man from Oklahoma. He's a fine talent, now starting. How about that Oklahoma-Texas game yesterday? Boy, one coach is happy and one coach is hopping mad.
I wonder what the officials are. Looking for a way out of town. One thing that San Francisco has done this entire season is run the ball wide very well. Obviously, Pittsburgh is going to look for that outside stuff. San Francisco is going to have to pop it up through the middle to keep those linebackers inside, Jay.
Third down and 12. Montana on the run, steps, throws out front. That is Roger Craig, the second-year man from Nebraska. Hinkle, the linebacker, 53, and Sam Washington, 41, making the tackle. Short of the first down at the 34-yard line. So to bring up fourth down and about 5. And Ray Wersching, who is 10 of 13 field goals this year, 19 out of 19 on the extra points and 49 points, is coming on to attempt the field goal with Joe Montana to hold.
A lot of psychology in this game, and when you're 6-0, that first drive is very, very important. They drive it about 40 yards and have to settle for 3 points. Pittsburgh takes it the length of the field and comes up with a touchdown.
51-yard attempt. Penalty marker down. Wersching has got enough distance. It's good if the penalty does not go against San Francisco. Referee Pat Haggerty in his 20th season as we look again. Wersching got good foot into this one.
Number 66, offense.
Oh.
Illegal formation charged against 49ers.
So he'll try for 56 yards now.
I think they're going to wave it off from there and go with Max Runninger. There is Coach Bill Walsh, born in Los Angeles, 53 years old. Played in down at San Jose State back in 53 and 54.
Always little ways to figure out if the team is in the game. Last minute, Russ Francis walked on the field, ran on the field. Someone's mind is not really in the football game.
Runninger's punt angled to the far side with Woods back to receive, but he doesn't have a chance. The ball comes out to the 16-yard line, and we'll be back with more in a moment.
If you've got what it takes and really care, there's a special kind of life you'll want to share. Serving your country is a special call. It's good for you. It's good for all. Not all who try fit the bill. It calls for brains. It calls for skill in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. High-tech and the services go hand in hand. It's a whole new world. You're in demand in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. You'll move up. You'll feel proud. You'll stand out above the crowd in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. But most of all, you'll earn the respect of the people and country you're there to protect in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. It's a great place to start.
Dan, something for your desk.
Vice President?
You earned it.
Today, Chevrolet has something for you, too. Discover Caprice Classic.
Now it's here, your reward. Just lean back, it's all yours.
Caprice, now even better with electronic fuel injection standard, plus traditional full-size comfort and prestige you've earned.
So this is today's Chevrolet.
Welcome to the club.
Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy.
Live it.
Chevy.
Say, Jay, next week you're going to cover the Keglers with Earl Anthony, a mutual friend of ours?
That's right. I look forward to it. I know Earl's watching today across the bay, and next Saturday afternoon, Earl and I will be down in the Alamo City of San Antonio at the Ponderosa Lanes, and we start the PBA Fall Tour.
Good luck.
Forward to to it.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The Steelers leading at 7-0 as we have 5:02 to play in the first quarter. That was a 23-yard punt a moment ago by Runiger. Mark Malone at the controls, replacing David Woodley today, and Pollard. Well, he almost broke out of there. You got to give him credit. Keena Turner, number 58, though, corralled him. Keena is only 219 pounds, but quite a linebacker on that right side.
Jay, so far the emotion shows me that San Francisco is not up for this game. This is a very good tackling team, and you saw Pollard almost run through the arms of 3 guys. I don't know how you change the emotion of a football team, but Bill Walsh better be thinking about doing it right now.
Kansas City with a big win. The Cardinals beat Chicago this afternoon. Here it's 7-0. Pittsburgh. Ehrenberg cuts in over the 20, gets to the 21-yard line. Jack Reynolds, number 64, on the tackle. Bob, I was in Pittsburgh last week, and when Woodley went down, the starch really went out of the Steelers, and today they seem to be playing with a great deal more of emotion and intensity.
Well, Malone has had a week to practice now with the football team. Everybody, offensively and defensively, knows that Mark Malone is the quarterback, and that makes a difference. Last week, anytime your starting quarterback goes down, it takes some wind out of your sails.
Got an extra wide receiver in there as you saw the tight end Kolodziejski come out, and it is 3rd down and 5.
Briscoe with 5 defensive backs too, Jay.
Malone throwing, and there is Stallworth for the first down. Stallworth putting on quite a show. 23-yard pickup. He's having a superb first quarter.
3 catches now, 36 yards for Stallworth. And the amazing thing is, he's their best threat. Oh, look at him. Boy, he deposits something of Ronnie Lott right there at the line of scrimmage. I think we all know what I'm talking about. Great move by John Stallworth. That's probably those years of trying to beat the bump and run of Mel Blount in practice in Pittsburgh.
First down for the Steelers. They operate from their own 43-yard line. 3.5 to go, first quarter. In motion, Pollard. Give up the middle. Ehrenberg got about 1, maybe 2. Ehrenberg averaging 3.4 per carry. He had 16 100-yard games in college at Colgate. A very smart, talented young man. Not very big. And, of course, when you think back to the days of Franco Harris and Rocky Flyer, this team certainly is a team in transition. The Steelers with the ball now at the 45, 2nd and 8. Wide receivers set to the right side. And the pitch comes to Ehrenberg, who goes against the grain and is cut down by Milt McCall, playing the outside linebacker spot. McCall, a 4-year man from Stanford, very intense player. One of 8 folks in his family that attended Stanford down at Palo Alto.
Interesting that this San Francisco defense has specific players for specific instances. This is not a situation substitution. They have designated pass rushers. They have designated sweep tacklers. It's an amazing defense that San Francisco runs.
3rd down and 9.
6 DBs for San Francisco. Blitz coming.
And almost intercepted. He tried to go over the middle to Greg Garrity, the 2nd-year man from Penn State, number 86. Carlton Williamson, the former Pitt star, number 27, almost picked it off.
Malone read it properly. You see right there to your right, Keena Turner, 58, picked up very well by Pollard. Well, kind of picked up by Pollard. You're right, Williamson sitting there trying to make the tackle. You see 79, Stuckey, back there in coverage. He's a defensive end. All they're trying to do is confuse that offense.
Colquitt to do the punting. He's averaging 40.3 per punt, and that is Rasmussen who's snapping. The kick going to the far sideline and down at the 23-yard line. A 33-yard punt. A special edition of Sports World coming up next Saturday, Survival of the Fittest.
A U.S. Marine, a raft guide, a cross-country skier, a special breed of athlete, a special breed of man. One who challenges nature and himself. 8 men face the rugged wilderness of Oregon's Snake River on a 90-minute Survival of the Fittest.
I loved everything about buying a new car. The looks, the smell. I loved everything but getting the financing.
Then I found out about GMAC financing. It's so easy, you can do it all right at your GM dealer.
Now I love everything about getting a new car.
Except choosing which one. Chevy, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, GMC truck, Buick, Cadillac.
Tell your GM dealer you want GMAC financing.
That's the easy part.
Hot Saturday night. Hot Saturday night. Coors to you on a hot Saturday night. Refreshing Coors to you. Cold. All night through. Coors. Rocky Mountain Gold, you got it. The best of the Rockies is yours. On a hot Saturday night.
Jay, you can see the problem that Mark Malone faces after this first play in recognition of the defense and figuring out what San Francisco is trying to do to Pittsburgh.
49ers 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. That's Wilson was going in motion, and Montana's throwing on first down. It's complete out to the 27-yard line. The catch made by Dwight Clark.
All right, now let's watch from behind the offense. You'll see it's pretty well picked up, the pass blocking. But just at the last minute on the right-hand side of the screen, just as Malone throws it, a defensive end, 79, Jim Stuckey, drops back in coverage. He's the man underneath. That's part of the recognition problem that Mark Malone has. This is just his first start since 1981, so they'll try to confuse him as best they can.
2nd down, about 4. That's Craig going in motion. Tyler getting the football. Tyler with a first down. Still going out to the 39-yard line. Well, a vintage run by Wendell Tyler. 10-yard pickup on the play. The stop made by Williams, 21, and Lambert, 58.
And it's up the middle. Watch 57 Merriweather. It's a blitz, and Tyler runs right by the blitz. There's Woodruff finally making part of the tackle. And then Washington. Tyler's a tough runner for a little kid, but as I said earlier, they like the sweep. They got to find some yardage up the middle. That time they did.
Ball just shy of the 40-yard line. 40 seconds left to play, first quarter. Pittsburgh leading 7-0. Wilson in motion to the far side. Activity at the line of scrimmage.
81, Russ Francis. Little quick, looked like it was going to be a sweep coming this way. Well, that's the second time. Once again, these are all indicators of is everyone into the game. There's Russ Francis moving. That's on the offense. So far, Bill Walsh can't like what he's seeing.
35-yard line. It'll bring up first down and 15. 35 seconds left to go in this first quarter. There's Bill Walsh. 8 seasons with the Bengals. That's when you were hooked up with him from. Play action.
Oh, wide open.
Wide open, and the ball was not thrown where it should have been. If it had been thrown more toward the center of the field, it would have been a touchdown for Mike Wilson and the 49ers.
Somebody made a big mistake. Wilson is open, but he's covered. Just to the right of the screen is Dwight Clark. There was nobody within 30 yards of him.
Montana's 4 out of 7 for 48 yards. Woodruff out of Little Louisville. Not so small, come to think of it. Pretty good players have come out of there. A law student at nighttime. Going to law school at Duquesne in the evenings.
Somebody missed the coverage there for Pittsburgh.
2nd down, 15. Montana gives it to Roger Craig. Craig is across the 40. Excellent effort by Craig as Jack Lambert, number 58, made the play. Lambert, of course, in his 11th year, a dominating linebacker. He told me last weekend, I played hurt all my life, and this daggone dislocated toe, I can't stand on it, but he's hanging tough out there today. It's going to be 3rd down. And there we go, the end of the first quarter. Back with more right after this.
You've got it, America. New Sure Roll-On keeps you drier than ever.
Raise your hand. You got it. Raise your hand. You know it. You feel confident, secure.
If you don't want the sticky feeling of most roll-ons, if you want to feel dry, raise your hand. If you don't want wet, if you want to feel dry, drier than ever, raise your hand.
Raise your hand. Raise your hand. If you're sure.
Feel drier than ever with new Sure Roll-On.
You know what I don't like about dandruff? Dandruff shampoos. I'm afraid they won't leave my hair the way I like it. This shampoo cares for my hair. It's the only one with a self-balancing formula. Puts dandruff protection where I need it, on my scalp, not on my hair, and it conditions where I need it. Leaves my hair looking and feeling good. Yeah, my shampoo's a dandruff shampoo. But it's today's Head and Shoulders, and it cares for my hair.
You've got the spirit. You keep on coming through. Your pride is strong. You won't just make it do. With every job you leave a little bit of you.
We started with an idea, a promise, a commitment to American farming and trucking we've been building for over 150 years, and now we're honoring it in more ways than ever before. International Harvester. The commitment is forever.
With Bob Trumpy here at Candlestick Park. Just a magnificent day for NFL action, this interconference game. The 49ers and the Steelers, third down. About 9. Montana over the middle, and not enough for the first down. Pass over the middle at the 45-yard line to Wendell Tyler. Williams 21, Lambert 58.
While we were away during commercial, Chuck Noll talking to Sam Washington. I'll bet you he's the guy who missed the coverage on Dwight Clark on that previous long play.
Short lecture completed there. Rick Woods will drop back to receive for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Runniger, his second punt of the day. This one right down the middle. Taken at the 15, and a little slippery there. He got maybe a yard or two. A 39-yard punt, let's call it a 2-yard return. Well, we're going to take time out. Remember, the Pro Bowl Tour premieres next Saturday.
America's favorite pastime returns to NBC Sports as the nation's top bowlers aim at nearly $1 million in prize money. Jay Randolph and 6-time Bowler of the Year and Bowler of the Decade Earl Anthony host the PBA Fall Tour. Premieres next Saturday on NBC.
Today's cars do things yesterday's cars didn't.
Please fasten seatbelt.
Their smaller, higher revving engines can break down an oil's viscosity within 1,500 miles. But tests show Castrol suffers no significant breakdown of viscosity even after 5,000 miles. So listen to your car.
Exceeding recommended RPM.
It may be telling you something. Castrol, engineered for smaller cars.
I like to save the big surprise for last. And turn. NCR is making a personal computer. Uh-huh. Sharp graphics. Surprise? I'll take it.
Oh, can't you look surprised?
I said I'll take it.
I know you'll take it. I just wanted you to be surprised.
But I know NCR. They practically computerized the banking business. Look, I'm writing a check.
Oh, money isn't everything. Nobody's ever surprised.
Well, maybe if you didn't tell people who made it.
A better computer. It's exactly what you'd expect from NCR.
Bill Walsh, the head man of the 49ers, his club not playing like a 6-0 club right now. He's a man that's helped develop a lot of fine quarterbacks. And there's Chuck Noll, who, of course, has won 4 Super Bowls, and nobody else can say that in the coaching ranks. But, Bob, you and I were talking about those Super Bowls that hurt the Steeler team, and we'll develop that a little later on. 1st and 10. Pollard goes in motion. Malone throwing and completing. That's Stallworth again, and he's having a fine first half. Stallworth first down out at the 36-yard line. Stallworth now, a pickup of 19. He has 4 catches for 56 yards.
Single coverage here, Eric Wright once again. That's what we thought the matchup would be. Ronnie Lott has got a bad ankle. And final score now, Jets over Cleveland 24-20. And Stallworth is just such a terrific receiver. Got Final New England beats Cincinnati 2014.
Anthony Corley, number 40, is in the backfield now for the Steelers. They fake it to Corley and give it to Abercrombie. Abercrombie getting to the 41-yard line. Ricky Ellison, number 50, making the stop. Ilkin and Voorhees doing good blocking up front.
You were mentioning the Pittsburgh Steelers and how they're paying for their success. Jay, in my opinion, that's exactly what's happening with the Pittsburgh Steelers having the 25th through the 28th pick in each round over the last 12 or 13 years. You just don't get the same quality athlete. There's no team right now playing the game that is paid more for its success than Pittsburgh.
Well, that's what the draft arrangement does. Pollard got a couple. He's to the 44-yard line. Jim Stuckey, number 79, playing in there now at left end. Made the play. Stuckey, a 5-year man from Clemson.
Yeah, I'll tell you another thing. This is the kind of game that the Steelers have built their reputation upon. That is traveling, playing a 6-0 team, and looking like they're the 6-0 team.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, 13th on offense in the National Football League.
That's Lewis Lipp standing right there next to Chuck Noll.
They really miss him. He gives them an added dimension on offense. 3rd down and 2, and Pollard went in motion, and so did a couple of the 49ers, and it looked also like Ilkin may have moved, so we'll wait till referee Pat Haggerty and his crew unravel this one.
Shouldn't be much of a mystery. On the right-hand side.
Number 62, offense.
Ilkin charged with the infraction, and it'll cost the Steelers 5.
First penalty on Pittsburgh today. Second penalty on Pittsburgh today, and that's hurt them.
Dallas and Washington in the second quarter, knocking heads today. Seattle is out to a 14-0 lead over that Buffalo team that has really struggled, although they have Ferguson back today. Minnesota leading the Raiders 13-7 in the first quarter. 7-0 here, Pittsburgh. 12-12 to go, first half.
Briscoe now with 6 defensive backs, Jay.
Garrity 86 and Thompson 87 are the wide receivers. Malone's got a lot of time. He gets it out there to Ehrenberg, and he's got a first down at midfield. A 12-yard pickup. The little guy coming out of the backfield made the catch, and Tom Holmoe, number 28, on the tackle.
They beat the defense. It's a 4-man front, 1 linebacker, and 6 defensive backs, and this is just plain foot speed. You'll see Ehrenberg come right there. They try to kind of pick off a defensive back, and a great job by Pittsburgh. Not terribly well thrown by Malone, but at least he gets it to the guy, and Holmoe on the coverage wasn't good enough.
Scoop Gillespie, little guy from William Jewell College, number 26 in the game. They give it to Pollard instead, and Pollard gets down to the 47-yard line. Stuckey 79 and Ellison 50 making the tackle. This defensive unit of the 49ers, 12th overall in the National Football League, 7th against the rush, 16th against the pass.
Jay, let's watch here. I don't think San Francisco is tackling particularly well. That time you saw him run out of 2 tackles. I'm rather surprised, but it's all tied to the emotion of this game, being 6-0, Monday night in New York, traveling, missing 2 days in preparation.
Abercrombie set out to the left side, give to Pollard. Pollard very close to the first down. Looks like he's about a yard short as he got to the 41-yard line. Jim Fonhorst, who was originally a Vikings draft pick, number 55, made the stop. Good blocking by Ilkin, 62 for the Steelers. Pollard with 34 yards now on 7 carries. It brings up 3rd down and a long one.
Pittsburgh now with their hippos in there. They got Steve August at 1 tight end. They got Ilkin at the other tight end. They got Ray Snell in there.
Of course, we mentioned they missed Benny Cunningham. And banging in is Abercrombie. Very close. They're probably going to have to measure. Ronnie Lott, 42, stuck his helmet in there and made initial contact. And it is very, very close. My guess is they have the first down, but I think they'll bring the chains in. Very, very close.
Pittsburgh has run 8 plays in this drive. Started at their own 18-yard line. This half has gone exactly the way Pittsburgh wants it.
Yeah, they've controlled the football. They have controlled time of possession. We have 10 minutes left to play. They get the first down. We're in the first half. There's Norb Hecker. He signals in the plays for the defensive unit.
That was a quick one.
Yep.
Not very complicated.
A lot of people remember him, of course, when he played for Los Angeles. I remember him when he was a Washington Redskin.
I barely remember last week.
First down for the Steelers, leading 7-0. Malone going long. Stallworth. Oh, he almost came up with it. The ball was a little underthrown. He came back to it, did a nice job. Got in front of Eric Wright, but couldn't hang on.
Jay, I tend to think that ball was underthrown on purpose. I think we'll see Malone. No, we'll miss Malone, but it's a stop and go. And he gets Wright to stop, and then watch. I think that ball is underthrown on purpose. You remember how the New York Jets used to do that with Sauer and Maynard? Namath would underthrow them. That was an excellent throw by Malone.
Gary Big Hands Johnson into the game now for the 49ers, number 97. McCall coming out. Stuckey comes back in.
These 49er defensive backs have great speed. I think it's very sound to underthrow the ball. Have the receiver come back to it.
Stallworth and Thompson are both set to the left side for Mark Malone. Malone gives it off to Abercrombie. And that did not fool the 49ers. Keena Turner, number 58. Turner coming up from the right outside linebacker spot, led the way.
All right, it looks like San Francisco now getting back into the game. There's Norb Hecker again. Now he'll get the call from Seifert. Defensive coordinator up top here, and then call the defense. Oh, this looks like a dandy.
Third down, 11. Pittsburgh so far, 5 out of 6 in third down situations.
San Francisco now 6 defensive backs, Jay. 4-man front, 1 linebacker.
And the Steelers spread out all over the place. The throw, and I don't know if they've got the first down. I don't believe so. Greg Garrity, 86, made the catch. He appears to be just short of the first down as Carlton Williamson, the strong safety, made the tackle just shy of the 30.
Once again, good recognition by Malone. And Williamson's playing way off of Garrity. Garrity's first catch of the season almost goes for a first down. Anderson in for the field goal.
Garrity played at North Allegheny High School and, of course, later at Penn State. 47-yard attempt. Anderson with Colquitt to hold.
Well within his range.
8 out of 14 for Anderson this season. And he's long enough, and it is good. A beauty, a 48-yard field goal. So the Pittsburgh Steelers lead it 10-0.
All cars under $7,000 are not created equal. Renault Alliance from Europe's leading car maker has more room than those. Alliance has the longest wheelbase for a smooth ride. Only Alliance has fuel-injected efficiency standard. Weigh your decision, then buy the car whose benefits outweigh the competition. Renault Alliance, built in America 6161. European technology that's affordable. 10.9% financing now available. Renault, the one to watch.
Where? Henry Weinhardt's Private Reserve.
People all over the country are asking for a special premium beer.
Henry Weinhardt's?
But no one asks in quite the same way. Some shorten the name.
Henry's.
And others don't use it at all.
Give me a Hanks. Henry's.
There are lots of different ways to ask for Henry Weinhardt's Private Reserve.
Henry's Premium?
But the folks at the brewery don't really care.
Reserve.
No matter how you ask for it.
Bud.
We'll just keep making sure you're getting the best beer around.
Today's game is brought to you by Stroh's and Stroh Light, fire brewed for smoother taste. By U.S. Armed Forces, it's a great place to start. And by National Car Rental. When you rent a car for business or pleasure, you deserve national attention.
Anderson ready to kick off. Harmon 24 and Monroe 32 set to receive the ball off the kicking tee. Proves something I'm sure you folks in the San Francisco area know. The wind swirls on the floor of the stadium here. It really does. Anderson hits it. Coming down to Monroe, and he's not going to come out. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. 7:53 to play in the first half. We'll be back and take a look at San Francisco on offense right after this.
When you first see the Mazda RX-7, you begin to understand why it has become a legend among today's sports cars. Because beyond its classic styling, you soon discover the sheer perfection of its bucket seats. You experience its comprehensive instrumentation and feel the preciseness of its 5-speed. These things alone help make it an exceptional value. But to gain an even deeper understanding of the RX-7, you're going to have to experience roads like these for yourself. Mazda RX-7. Experience it.
My daughter calls it the Blue Bomber. My wife thinks I ought to get rid of it. And when it needed a new muffler, well, I was afraid she might be right.
Listen, I don't want to spend too much on this car.
Midas had a muffler that was perfect for my budget. Now the old Blue Bomber sounds almost as good as new. And heck, she doesn't look that bad.
Trust the Midas touch.
That certainly tells you why it's 10-0. Pittsburgh has run 28 plays, San Francisco just 12. Therefore, the score, 10-0. They had a 73-yard drive, 78-yard drive for a touchdown, and an 83-yard drive for a field goal.
Montana trying to get something going. They got 3 tight ends in the game now, Francis, Cooper, and Frank. And here comes a fumble, and holding on to it is Craig. Oh, boy, that would have been a big, big problem. Craig and Washington were going for that ball, and Craig held on for San Francisco.
I don't know that he ever got a hold of it. You see the pitch, and it looks like Craig never really finds the handle on the ball. Then all of a sudden it's desperation, and you're right. He's darn lucky. He gets that back. Washington right there to almost get the ball before he does. Well, this has not been a half that San Francisco wants to go back and look at the films of.
No, sir. Second down and about 15. 7:10 to go in this first half. Montana throwing and completing. That is Earl Cooper, one of the tight ends. Cooper, a 5-year man out of Rice. He was a fullback at Rice. Williams, 21, the free safety on the tackle.
He was drafted as a fullback here for the San Francisco 49ers. But they made him a tight end because of his size. Good, sure-handed receiver. There's no question about that. Eric Williams on the tackle for a short game. Now 3rd and 10.
Wide to the right. Dwight Clark and Mike Wilson for Joe Montana. Montana throws it out to the short man, Cooper, and Cooper, I don't believe, has the first down. They're probably going to measure it. It's very close. He was hit by Lambert, 58, Woodruff, 49, and the secondary for the Steelers did a good job. They're going to give him the first down.
Very close. It all depended upon the mark. Cooper made one smart choice. He didn't get fancy. As soon as he caught the ball, turned upfield, realizing he had 10 yards to get, and got it. Here's Bill Walsh in his play sheet, and I can tell you what's on there, Jay. Every odd number is a 1st and 10 play. Every even number is a 2nd and 5. Then he's got a 3rd and short, goal line, and he's also got a long yardage list. It's pretty much laid out for him on that sheet.
Pitch back coming. Craig. Nothing there. And I'll tell you, this Pittsburgh bunch playing with a lot of emotion. Washington 41. He made the tackle, and Keith Gary's jumping up and down saying, attaboy, attaboy. There's Bill Walsh, regular season, 40 and 39. Walsh, when he was at Stanford, was 77 and 78. And, of course, he brought a Super Bowl here and is certainly considered one of the very fine minds in all of professional coaching.
No question about it. Craig made a very bad choice there, cutting inside. He had a blocker outside. Dwight Clark still turned it up inside.
Carl Monroe now in the backfield. That's Monroe going in motion on 2nd down and 10. Montana throwing and completing on the far sideline. That was Roger Craig. He's got a first down. Montana to Craig for 12 yards. Montana now is 8 out of 11 for 79 yards.
This guy's been a big plus for the San Francisco 49ers. His 22nd catch of the season, In college at Nebraska, his entire career, he only caught 12 passes, but he's turned out to be their leading receiver to this point in the season and can really bust it up there once he gets his hands on the ball.
David Little has replaced Jack Lambert. Lambert in on that last tackle, but he's out of the game now. Little, number 50. First down. Coming in motion, Monroe, 32. The pass out to Monroe. Tries to make a stutter step. Gets it across the 45-yard line. Good effort. Washington 41 on the tackle.
Jay, comment on Jack Lambert. He's not injured. I think he's just trying to catch his breath with that bad toe. He really has had very little time to work out at all at Pittsburgh. And you do get out of breath, believe me, playing defense. So he's over there just taking a rest.
4 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first half. A stunning score on the board here at the moment. Pittsburgh 10, San Francisco nothing. Second down and 6 at the 46 for the 49ers. Craig bumped out of bounds at about the 48-yard line.
Great tackle by Donnie Shell.
Shell, 31, came up and stuck him, and he had Keith Gary, 92, there with him.
You see just about everybody pulling. That's Wendell Tyler leading on Washington. Little submarine job. But watch this tackle by Donnie Shell. Whoa! Takes the legs right out from underneath him.
Craig was a number 2 draft pick in '83, and he had a fine rookie year, over 700 yards. Played at Nebraska. Cornhuskers beat Missouri yesterday.
Lambert back in the ballgame. Now let's see what we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defensive backs, 2 linebackers, 4 defensive linemen for Pittsburgh.
And on 3rd and 4, Montana completes it for a first down at the 45-yard line. Good catch made by Wendell Tyler. Tyler had 8 catches for 75 yards coming into today's game.
Not a guy that used a great deal, but watch the confusion. The inside-outside coverage, bumped by Merriweather, and then he knows how far he's got to go for the first down, just sits there and lets Montana hit him. That's part of the science of the offense designed by Bill Walsh. Just putting guys right there for the first down conversion, 3rd down conversion.
23 Brown and Merriweather 57 made the tackle. It is a first down. Tyler's only 14 yards on the ground so far. A little swing out to the right side to Craig. And Craig just couldn't get on track once he got the football. Barely got to the 41-yard line. Looked like he might get more. But Hinkle, the linebacker, did a nice job closing on him, number 53, with help from 56, Robin Cole.
San Francisco staying with their basic game plan. No reason to panic. They're 2:53 left, and they've now crossed over to Pittsburgh's side of the field. They can be patient here.
2:40 to go in this first half. 49ers needing to put some points on the board before we go to halftime. Pittsburgh leading at 10-0. On second down, the give up the middle, and banging through is Tyler. Tyler has a first down. Donnie Shell on the tackle. Boy, he swirled through there that time.
Watch the trap up the middle. Not something that San Francisco features, but they caught Pittsburgh in a blitz. You saw 57 Merriweather, 56 Cole across the line of scrimmage. And if once you get through on that trap, the next guy there is the strong safety, and he's 8 yards deep.
They measure, and they got the first down.
San Francisco got a big break there, too. To measure, it gives them a timeout. They should now go into their 2-minute offense. And the next time they stop, go quickly to the line of scrimmage. The next time they stop, they should be stopped by the 2-minute warning. Now 2:10.
This is the 11th play of this drive. Wide receiver set to the right side. Now coming back in motion, Mike Wilson. And the handoff going to Tyler, and we have a whistle. And Tyler steps out of bounds.
The official called a 2-minute warning, and I was watching the clock, and it wasn't 2 minutes. That clock, you can't stop the clock until it ticks 2 minutes.
All right, let's see what the call is going to be.
Wait a minute. They're going to call the 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning.
But I guarantee you, Jay, that was at like 2:02 when the ball was snapped.
Well, we have the 2-minute warning, no matter. And it's 10-0 Pittsburgh.
Only Mazda's got a sporty truck with a split line. 99
I just got a sporty truck priced like some base trucks. The Mazda V2000 SE5. Look, it comes standard with a 5-speed, radials and spoker wheels, sporty stripes, step bumper, and dual sport mirrors. Pretty sporty for just $59.95.
Sakes alive.
Mazda SE5.
You want to win, you got to practice stopping Sarinsky. Murphy, you're Sarinsky. You dog me, Sarinsky.
You guys getting the hang of this?
Bring out your best.
Your best deserves the best.
Bud Light.
The less filling light beer with a first name in taste.
Sarinsky's got some moves, huh?
Friday on Miami Vice.
It's a hit list, and you're on it.
Friday.
This play does not count, Jay Randolph, but I think it should. There was an anticipation of the 2-minute warning, and that's not supposed to be the case. The ball is snapped before the clock ticks to 2 minutes. The play is supposed to count. Let you take back that 26 yards. And it's 1st and 10.
Both teams with 3 timeouts remaining. 2 minutes to play, first half. Montana over the middle. It's complete. On the move with it is Russ Francis. First down at the 15-yard line. 19-yard pickup for the veteran out of Oregon. Tackle made by Donnie Shell, number 31.
Jay, it appeared to be double rotation zone, which means corners up, safeties out. Watch 58 Lambert. He's responsible for the tight end. Now, in Jack's behalf here, he has not played an awful lot of football in the last 7 weeks. Everyone knows that. I tend to think that they were just trying to take advantage of Jack Lambert. When he hasn't played for 6 weeks, it's probably the only time in his career that you can take advantage of it.
17th catch of the season for Francis, who's having a very good year. Taylor inside the 10, bangs it down to the 7-yard line. And the 49ers are warming to the task as they'll call a timeout with 1:09 left in this first half. Lambert made the tackle on the last play. We'll be back with more in a moment.
We all play the small car game to find the biggest value. Guess which hatchback offers the most room?
Renault Encore?
Expressive styling from Europe's leading car maker.
Encore.
Fuel-injected efficiency standard. Twin rear torsion bars for road-hugging excitement.
Encore.
Play the small car game. You'll find the one with the biggest value. Renault Encore 5959. Built in America. European design that is affordable. 10.9% financing now available. Renault, the one to watch.
Brad, where are we going?
To Sears to get you a new battery.
A Die-Hard?
Uh-huh. And it's the lowest price of the season, just $49.99 installed.
Oh, thank you.
And I saved $20.
Okay, Big Saver, how about tires?
Well, Sears has the biggest savings ever on weather-wise steel-belted radials, low as $34.99 installed.
Wow.
You're pretty peppy.
It's confidence, Brad. Sears installs it.
There's more for your life at Sears.
Watch the way Wendell Tyler squirts up through here. You can see Jack Lambert, it's just a fold block. The center, Quillen, does an excellent job on Dunn. And Wendell Tyler kind of crouches down there behind the offensive line. And a pickup of 8 yards. Lambert, as you said, Jay, finally on the tackle.
Yeah, Montana's heated up. He's 6 out of 6 on this drive for 55 yards passing. And along with Tyler going better, they are in position. They have 2 timeouts left. Montana rolling to the right at the 5. Touchdown!
You want to know what being between a rock and a hard place is? Right here. Merriweather, 57, doesn't know whether to cover Craig, 33, or go after the quarterback. Joe finally makes the decision. Craig just gets a little touch of Merriweather, and he waltzes in.
They moved downfield, 80 yards in 13 plays. It took almost 7 minutes. Wershing with the point after. Montana to hold. And right through the middle. A big score for the 49ers. 1:03 left in the half.
There's a time in life for the young to say, I want something else, a different way. The town's the same, the people too. School is over, need something to do. The services have it, it'll really show. You'll see new places, you'll really grow in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Challenge, adventure, excitement too, a time to enjoy and see something new. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. You'll work hard, feel really free, serving your country for all to see in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Be part of a team, be friends forever. A part of the services you won't forget ever. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. It's a great place to start.
Hi, I'm Mr. Taylor. My secretary made a reservation.
Yes, she requested a Camaro.
A Camaro? I'm afraid that's a bit much.
It's only $29.95 a day. And fun to drive.
Well,
why just rent a car when for only $29.95 a day, National will rent you some wheels? Just request a Camaro or similar car with unlimited mileage.
There it is.
Hey, thanks.
You deserve national attention.
All right.
The NFL plays here, Miami.
With speed burner Mark Duper out racing NFL defenses, the Dolphins are holding team meetings in the end zone.
The NFL plays here, New England.
The Patriots, too, have had reason to celebrate since uncorking champagne Tony Eason to quarterback.
The Dolphins battle the Patriots. The NFL plays here.
My team plays here.
Pittsburgh's lead cut to 3 with 1:03 to play in this first half. Sun shining brightly down on Candlestick Park, and the folks here in the Bay Area enjoying a marvelous day weather-wise. Worshing to kick off. Todd Spencer is downfield. There's the drive. And Spencer coming up, fighting the sun, takes it on the run, fumbles it, and it is Pittsburgh's Anthony Corley, who very alertly came back, pounced on that ball. So the Steelers have the lead. They'll have the ball. Back in a moment.
The beauty of a Delta faucet is, when it's on, it's on. And when it's off, it's off. Its washerless design helps keep it from dripping, so it lasts and lasts and lasts. Delta faucet. We're first because we last.
The insulation is ready, and the time is now. It's all up to you to beat those high home heating and air conditioning costs. So get rolling. Add an extra layer of Owens Corning Pink Attic blanket insulation and score energy savings. If you act now, you'll get a free warm-up jacket with the emblem of your favorite NFL team. A great offer, only from Owens Corning.
Bob Trumpy, Jay Randolph with you here, and 58 seconds left. What are the Steelers going to do? They're going to sit on it and be satisfied with a 3-point halftime lead?
Well, it appears that San Francisco is expecting the pass, so I tend to think that Pittsburgh will run.
Can't believe that Chuck Noll would want to put the ball up here, but let's see. The handoff going to Pollard. And Pollard pops out across the 15 to about the 17-yard line. 49ers, Gary Big Ange Johnson, 97 on the tackle, coming up at halftime. Bring you up to date scores and highlights of the action on this day in the NFL.
San Francisco takes the timeout. Looks like Pittsburgh's going to run it out. San Francisco try to get it back.
United Way salutes Pittsburgh and one of its leading citizens. For more than 50 years, Art Rooney has guided his beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. He helped build the foundations of professional football and set a standard of quality that has made the NFL unparalleled in professional sports. His calm, selfless counsel saw his team through the tough early years to the Steelers' first Super Bowl victory in 1975. The Steelers are the only NFL team to win 4 Super Bowl titles. Art Rooney and his family have been part of the vitality and tradition of the Pittsburgh community. His strong commitment to the United Way and the Catholic charities which they support has made him one of the most universally loved and respected citizens of Pittsburgh. And he's still helping others. Pittsburgh is said to be one big family, Art Rooney is the heart of that family. This message furnished by the National Football League.
The 49ers have 1 timeout remaining. The Steelers have 3. The 49ers are thinking about trying to get this ball back as we have 2nd down and about 6 at the 19-yard line for the Steelers.
Well, I think if you're going to throw it, you throw it here, and then you run it on 3rd down if you don't complete the pass.
Malone gives it to Pollard, and Pollard is hit at the 20-yard line, and San Francisco used their last timeout. Jim Stuckey, number 79, made the tackle. And the 49ers call time, 42 seconds remaining.
Well, if it works out, they got a couple of choices. One, they got Dana McLemore, punt returner, who last week against the New York Giants ran one back. Secondly, if at the end of a half or a football game, if on a punt you fair catch it, from that point you get a free kick, which if it goes through the uprights, it counts as 3 points. So
we saw Wersching, of course, kick a 52-yarder earlier that was wiped out because of a procedural alignment call against the 49ers, but they would like very much to get this football back and have an opportunity to maybe put it in play a couple of times.
Yes. Now,
we haven't seen Nehemiah yet this afternoon.
That's true.
We might see him in this.
You're right.
This situation.
Now, what Pittsburgh wants to do here, 3rd down and about 5, they want to run the ball. Because if they throw an incompletion, of course, the clock stops. So they want to run the ball. And this is going to be a very interesting 42 seconds to see exactly what might transpire. There are a lot of
49ers could get the ball with about 22 seconds left.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that could happen here.
Stallworth coming to the near side for Mark Malone. 3rd down, 5. And it looks like Malone might have audibled. I don't know. He moved his back. There it goes to Pollard. Pollard is short of the 1st down, piled up at the 22, almost the 23-yard line.
Let's see when they mark it, when they start the clock. They won't have to run a play. They won't have to run a play.
4th down.
That's when the 30 seconds starts. They won't have to run a play.
Down to 18 seconds. So it looks like the 49ers will not have an opportunity to handle the ball. We come to the end of the 1st half here with the Steelers on top, 10-7 at Candlestick Park, and that is the end of the 1st half. The Steelers, coming in here decided underdogs, have the lead, 10-7.
Give me a light. Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Give me a light. Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Hey, give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
No, Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
It's a wild place.
Now at your Renault dealer. 10.9% financing on every Alliance and Encore, including new Alliance convertible. Highly acclaimed Alliance sedan. 10.9 financing on Renault Encore. Hurry. Finance offer on Alliance and Encore ends October 31st. Plus, see the new Jeeps, America's largest selection in 4-wheel drive. Now more than ever, the ones to watch are the ones to buy. See your Renault dealer now. Finance offer on Alliance and Encore ends October 31st.
Hey, Harry Gant, what's it like driving the Skull Bandit?
It ain't easy. Even in practice.
What's it like using Skull Bandits?
That's real easy.
Skull Bandits is tobacco in a neat little pouch. You don't chew it. Just put one between your cheek and gum and enjoy the refreshing taste. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing.
It's that easy.
Try Skull Bandits. We think you'll agree. It's a little pouch of pleasure.
They are the prodigies of racing's true champions, the sons and daughters of Northern Dancer, of Seattle Slew, of Alydar. This fall, the bloodline will be tested, and new champions will be born. The Breeders' Cup, November 10th on NBC.
It's halftime. Welcome to our NFL 84 studios in New York, and we want to update you now on the scores, the early games from Week 7 around the National Football League. We begin with San Diego and Kansas City. This was expected to be a big offensive show. It was, but only on the Kansas City side of the field. A long afternoon for Don Coryell, but one of the San Diego highlights would come in the third quarter. Bill Kinney, who replaced Todd Blackledge at quarterback, and there was some speculation that that would happen, throws the ball downfield. It is intercepted by number 22, Gil Bird, the second-year defensive back out of San Jose State, and he goes 99 yards up the field for a touchdown, collapsing from exhaustion in the end zone, but Kenny came back and threw 2 touchdown passes for a total of 228 yards, all in the second half, 31-13 Chiefs. Both clubs now go to 4-3. The Jets in Cleveland, another good ball game, 24-20. The Jets win it. Sam Ratigliano under criticism in Cleveland. The Jets scored first. Johnny Hector, the other running back in the Jets' backfield, along with Freeman McNeil, 64 yards on this play. It set up a 3-yard touchdown run by Freeman McNeil to put the Jets out in front 7-0. Second quarter, though, the Browns came back. Paul McDonald, who had a mixed day, 52 yards to Ozzie Newsome. It put the ball down close. That led to a 1-yard run by Mike Pruitt. Cleveland closed the gap, but the Jets went on to win it on this play. A 2-yard dive by Tony Page, 24-20. The Jets go to 5-2. Cleveland 1-6. Chicago and St. Louis, 38-21. The final there. Walter Payton had 100 yards, one of the few bright spots. Mike Ditka has relied on his defense, but the Bears scored early. Jim McMahon, a 28-yard touchdown pass here to the speedster Willie Gault, but then the Cardinals came roaring back in the second quarter. Neil Lomax to Otis Anderson around the right side, 9-yard TD run. Move to the fourth quarter. Lomax, a 10-yard run. He scrambles into the end zone. 38-21, St. Louis the final. Both teams now at 4-3. The Rams and New Orleans. The Rams win this one 28-10. A big day from Jeff Kemp. He had 3 touchdown passes of 25 yards to Drew Hill, 13 yards to Henry Ellard, and 21 yards to the speedster Ron Brown. Earl Campbell ended the day with 5 carries for 19 yards. Houston and Miami. This was a close one in the first half. It was only 7-0, but then Dan Marino caught fire and came roaring back. 3 touchdown passes today. He has 20 on the year. This one of 27 yards to Mark Clayton. Dolphins go to 7-0. Oilers struggling still at 0-7. 28-10 Miami the final. Cincinnati and New England. This was a good ball game. Sam Wyche didn't reveal his starting quarterback until game time. When he did, it was Boomer Esiason, and he came out hot and threw a couple of touchdown passes. Then the Patriots came roaring back behind Tony Eason. Here comes Eason, 13 yards scrambling, and he goes into the end zone from the 13. 14-10. Cincinnati still wins it, leads it. Now we go to the fourth quarter. Eason at quarterback again, back to pass, under pressure. He goes 25 yards for a touchdown this time, 20-14 the final. So for the second straight week, the Patriots pull it out late. New England goes to 5-2. The Bengals fall to 1-6. Atlanta and the Giants. The Giants go to 4-3. They win this one by a score of 19-7. Indianapolis and Philadelphia. Frank Kush has some problems on defense and apparently now has some problems on offense. 16-7 the final there. Tampa Bay and Detroit, it went to overtime in the Silverdome. Gary Danielson in the overtime period threw a 37-yard touchdown pass to Leonard Thompson to win it. The Lions at 2-5 now. The Buccaneers fall to 3-4. Coming into the game, the Buccaneers had won 3 straight. Now our halftime activities will continue after this.
Monday, it's Family Ties Bloopers with Michael Gross, a practical joke on Cyndi Lauper and Joan Van Ark. Plus, Bill Burr and Crew's Animals Just Want to Have Fun, too.
Monday.
Friday on Miami Vice.
It's a hit list, and you're on it.
Friday.
In the field of personal business computers, the climb to the top is tough. 2 companies have taken an early lead, but now there's a third, NEC. And now, NEC introduces the Advanced Personal Computer 3 to America. NEC, the world's 3rd largest maker of personal computers, and climbing.
Hey, Dad, look at Harold's new Japanese car.
Colt? Colt's not a Japanese car.
Sure, feel how soft the doors are.
Look at the fit. And what a deal I got.
Colt, imported for Dodge and Plymouth, built by Mitsubishi in Japan.
Let's take a spin.
First, take your shoes off.
Why isn't this car called something Japanese?
Colt, it's all the Japanese you need to know.
Only one major California bank doesn't impose a per-check charge on any personal checking account. Wells Fargo. No per-item charges, no confusing calculations, no end-of-the-month surprises on your statement. Unlimited access with no charge for any transaction. It's that simple. Wells Fargo Checking. Service that won the West. Wells Fargo still delivers it.
Sports highlights and scores tonight at 11:25.
Halftime at Candlestick. Pittsburgh leads at 10-7. Tower of Power is entertaining here at halftime. And the beat goes on here in San Francisco as we rejoin you. Jay Randolph along with Bob Trumpy. Second half thoughts?
Let me give a first half thought. One, Pittsburgh has not turned the ball over. Neither has San Francisco. Pittsburgh just 2 penalties. San Francisco 3. Malone 7-10. This has been a very well-played first half. Pittsburgh has come out here and with emotion really taken the game away from San Francisco. San Francisco's on their heels. Somebody's got to scream and yell at them at halftime to get the emotion back in this team.
Well, that last score obviously has got to help the 49ers as they talk it over right now.
Helps a great deal, no question about it. But through the first half, you got to give the edge and play in emotion to Pittsburgh.
You know, this group entertaining here, another sellout crowd here on a beautiful day. A lot of other things you could do in the Bay Area. And Mr. Edward DeBartolo has done quite a job with this San Francisco club since he took it over from the Morabito's. And earlier today, I had an opportunity to visit with a very dynamic young owner of the 49ers. In a short period of time, you've become one of the most popular owners in the National Football League, and I know that makes you and your family very happy.
Oh, it does. And it's, Jay, it's really easy to do when you have a great organization and you're winning.
Well, and you are winning. And, of course, I want to ask you a little bit about this stadium, Candlestick Park. There's a lot of talk about a new stadium for San Francisco.
Well, the mayor's been proposing that for some time, and there are a lot of problems at Candlestick Park. We couldn't have had any better cooperation with Mayor Feinstein and her department downtown. There's a tremendous amount of work that has to be done here if in fact, this is going to be a single-use stadium, which it may end up being with the city, possibly if the Giants stay here, if something happens. Other than that, they're talking about maybe building a single-use stadium in downtown San Francisco for baseball.
What do you think is going to happen?
I think that the Giants will probably stay in San Francisco. That's my hope, and I know it's the hope of the fans of the Giants and the city. And I think that Candlestick eventually will become a single-purpose football stadium, and I think that there will be an open-air stadium in downtown San Francisco.
Long range, are you interested in the Giants?
Well, as I said earlier, the scenarios have to be so right. It would make a lot of sense if it was controlled by our situation, considering we have one of the major franchises in the city. I think working with the city and working with Mr. Lurie in the future, it's a possibility.
Of course, we're going back to Pittsburgh and Youngstown today. The DeBartolo family very involved with sports in the Steel City.
Well, we sure are. We have the hockey team and the soccer team, plus the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, and we're very close friends of the Rooneys. We always have been for many, many years, and that's what makes this game all the more exciting.
I think it might be fair to say that the Rooneys and the DeBartolos are two of the great sporting families in America.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you. I know the Rooneys for many, many years have been successful, and it's a great family. This game means a lot to the Steelers, and it means a lot to the 49ers, and I know the fans won't be disappointed.
Well, I know some people are looking forward to San Francisco and the L.A. Raiders at Stanford a little later on.
Well, I think it's a little bit premature for that because it's very early in the season. Our team's been playing very well. Coach Walsh and the organization have done a magnificent job. I know one thing, if we're lucky enough to be in Stanford, the travel costs won't be much for us.
And he travels his team around in a wide body when they go places. Well, it is 10-7 here at halftime. Back with this after this from your local station.
Sounds like there's a bear in the beer.
What are we going to do?
I'll be right back.
Where's he going?
He's going to get that beer from that bear.
That's not just a bear. That's a grizzly.
Yeah, but that's not just a beer. That's fire-brewed Stroh's. I thought we had 3 cases. Well,
Had to make a deal.
Stroh's and Stroh Light, fire brewed for smoother taste.
For the 4th year in a row.
New test results in?
Yes. For the 4th year in a row, in an independent test, over 1,000 people were asked which 19-inch TV had the best overall color picture.
Please, don't drag it out. Just give results. Majority of people pick Sylvania Superset over Sony again?
Yes. And over RCA and Zenith, too.
Nandeska, Kolnadeska, Sylvania be Sony again? Doshte.
Chrysler introduces the new technology of driving. Turbo New Yorker. Front-wheel drive, electronics to inform you. Chrysler luxury to comfort you, and turbo power to move you. Turbo New Yorker. Once you drive it, you'll never go back to a V8 again. This is Chrysler's most technologically advanced luxury car, backed by the Chrysler Protection Plan. Turbo New Yorker by Chrysler. The best built, best backed American cars.
Monday, it's Family Ties Bloopers with Michael Gross, a practical joke on Cyndi Lauper and Joan Van Ark, plus Bill Burr and Drew.
Low-fare jet travel isn't the same anymore.
My assigned seat. This is a low-fare airline?
It's complimentary.
This is a low-fare airline?
At America West, every employee is an owner. So with less fare, you get more care.
Cocktail? It's part of the service.
Throughout the West and Midway.
America West Airlines.
Right in the middle of your picture, there's Jack Lambert, and he has been an inspiration, I'm sure, to his club going here today with that bad toe.
First time he's played this season, you can see his left foot is heavily bandaged, and I'm sure Pittsburgh hopes that he can play the second half. Well, the halftime stats, the one thing that strikes me is no turnovers for either team, and San Francisco certainly evened out the time of possession in that second quarter. Malone, very, very good, 7 of 10. Montana's also had a very good first half, but I repeat, this is an emotional game, and when you're 6-0, the coaching staff wants your team to play with emotion, and to this point, San Francisco really hasn't. That last drive of the first half probably picked them up very good, but I know Bill Walsh, and I know him very well, Jay. I tend to think that in the locker room at halftime, he kicked some tail. Said, look, you guys are 6-0. You're playing like you're 0-6. Let's get with it.
Time to get their attention, huh?
Yeah, he can do that, too.
I'll bet he can. Walsh, of course, who has helped the likes of Ken Anderson and Dan Fouts and Joe Montana, a very fine teacher of quarterbacks. Anderson is set to kick it off, and Harmon and Monroe to receive. Coming down to Derek Harmon. He's over the 5, 10, at the 15, 20. Almost broke it out at the 25. Goes down at the 27-yard line. Rick Woods, number 22, the man on the specialty unit who made the stop.
So often special teams dictate the emotion of the football team. You see Rick Woods demoted a couple of weeks ago by Chuck Noll for a couple of blown coverages. Gets down there in a hurry, and then you got to set up, take on a blocker, get rid of him as quickly as you possibly can, and try to make the tackle, which Rick Woods does.
First down at the 27. Montana throwing over the middle, and it is caught. Penalty marker goes down. What a catch by Russ Francis. 33-yard play if it stands, Trump.
That will stand. They were going to call defensive interference. 21, Eric Williams on the coverage. Boy, this is a great catch. Jack Lambert in the ball game, and that's where Russ Francis is releasing. You can see that this is right behind Jack Lambert. Oh, excuse me, that's Donnie Shell, the strong safety, not the weak safety. They were going to call pass interference.
Illegal shot. Number 86 declined. First down.
A first down at the 41-yard line.
Wait a minute, the call was an illegal chuck on number 86. That's 31. Donnie Shell making the tackle on an outstanding catch. And a play like that for the San Francisco 49ers can change their emotion. Shows in the second half they're ready to play.
Well, this crowd is picked up here. motion, Roger Craig, and the give goes to Wendell Tyler, and he cracks off right tackle, picking up a couple. Tackle made by Merriweather, number 57. Tyler, he's a fellow, of course, can make the big play for you. Came over here in a trade in '83 from Los Angeles. The Detroit Tigers trying to wrap it up in the Motor City, leading in the second inning. Second down along 7. Montana going over the middle, got a man, oh, he couldn't hold it. Pass a little high, but Mike Wilson had an excellent opportunity to hold on and couldn't. Sam Washington on the coverage.
I think Joe Montana wishes he had this one back. They had a blitz by the strong safety, Donnie Shell, just thrown a little too far for Wilson to make the catch. Well, he was open, wasn't he?
Carl Monroe returning to the backfield for the 49ers. Monroe, number 32, replacing Wendell Tyler, and it is third down, 7.
Pittsburgh pretty standard in their defense now. Donnie Shell on the line of scrimmage with Russ Francis.
That's Craig coming in motion. Montana throws to Craig. Oh, bad hands there. Brian Hinkle, number 53, had the coverage, but they kind of just sent Craig in motion out here, hoping to get enough. He got the ball and couldn't hold on.
I think Montana was expecting Craig to keep moving, and Craig stopped. Boy, that was a big play. That first drive of the second half is very critical.
That pass a moment ago to Francis was his longest reception as a 49er. This punt by Runninger going to be down at the 4-yard line.
Actually, that ball was kicked by a San Francisco 49er at the 9-yard line.
Well, the Steelers will have it deep in their own territory, leading 10-7 when we come back.
Well, moms and dads the world around give their kids the same old sound. Got to go to school, be a big success. They wouldn't settle for anything less. Now they've learned whatever you seek, you'll help yourself to reach your peak. In the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Need a trade? Looking for a skill? They have hundreds to fit the bill. In the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Want more school? Don't have the bread. They'll help pay to get you ahead. Talking Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Mom and dad, they'll want to shout. He's made it big, there's no doubt. Thanks, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. It's a great place to start.
So hold up! Go! Lighten the load! Lighten the load! Throw down the trunk! They're catching up! Get rid of the Strohs! Get rid of the Strohs!
Good thinking, Bart.
Yep.
Strohs and Stroh Light. Fire brewed for smoother taste.
Today's game is brought to you by Chrysler Plymouth, who invites you to discover the new technology of driving at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer. By Sylvania Superset Color TV and the complete line of Sylvania home entertainment products. And by AC Delco, the smart parts.
That's Bob McKittrick on the sideline, the offensive line coach, talking to the offensive line, trying to straighten out, work out whatever problems they may have. San Francisco still struggling today.
Pittsburgh's going to start with the ball at the 9-yard line. Trump, you mentioned that ball was touchdown there, and they're going to place it there at the 9. So the Steelers, 1st and 10. First opportunity to go on offense in this third quarter. Handoff to Pollard. Pollard across the 10 to the 13-yard line.
That's good yardage.
Pollard banging out there. Pollard, who played at Baylor. Good blocking by Long and Brown up front. Tackle made by Todd Shell, number 90.
Whoa, look at
Washington
this.
up by 10 at halftime over the Dallas Cowboys. Seattle was up 17-0. Buffalo's bounced back in that one. The Raiders down to Minnesota 13-10 in the second quarter. Pittsburgh leading here 10-7. Second down, about 6. Pollard out to the 15 to the 16-yard line, short of the first down. Ricky Ellison, number 50, making the stop. Last week, the Steelers, of course, went up against the number 1 rated passer in the AFC and in the NFL, as you mentioned, Trump. And, of course, this week they defense the number 1 rated passer in Montana. Their coordinator on defense, Tony Dungy, certainly hasn't had an easy task lately.
Yeah, he used to play for San Francisco, too.
Pollard with 50 yards now on 12 carries, 3rd down, 3.
No middle linebacker. I'd look for a trap up the middle here, Jay.
There it is. Off up the middle to Pollard, and he has a first down across the 20-yard line. And you called it, Trump. Right on.
One of the things San Francisco does is, with that 5-man front, they take out the middle linebacker. That was an audible at the line of scrimmage. And watch the good trap pull by Borey, 71. He gets on Stuckey, and Pollard up through there, but watch this hit by Carl. Oh, Williamson. Oh, what a tackle. But good enough for a first down. Good call by Mark Malone.
Malone has done an excellent job stepping in for David Woodley here today. In trouble, Abercrombie. Abercrombie hit by Ricky Ellison and Ronnie Lott, number 50 and number 42, and this defensive unit of the 49ers playing with some verve right now.
Watch Todd Shell, number 90. He takes on Voorhees, pushes him back into the running back, and then Ellison there to make the tackle. Excellent defensive pursuit by the San Francisco 49ers. One of the few times that play has not worked for Pittsburgh today.
2nd down and 11. Louis Kelcher, number 94, now playing the nose for the 49ers. 10:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. Steelers up by 3. Stallworth. Malone throwing for him, got it, and got the first down. Stallworth down the sideline, stepping out of bounds finally at the 36-yard line, and the great veteran has had a good game. Hicks over there, 22, ran him out.
San Francisco has just not tackled well. Watch this coverage by Eric Wright. Generally a very good coverage man. And Stallworth he's exceptional. But look at that poor tackling. And then Hicks just tries to slap him out of bounds. That's it. This is a 6-0 football team just reading its own press.
Stallworth having a fine day, as you can see by those statistics. John, who played at Alabama A&M. First down at the 36. They give it to Pollard. Pollard, a number 11 pick in 1980. 608 yards last year. The best yardage turned out by an NFL non-starter.
Did you see Jack Reynolds moving that defensive line around? He was pulling at the pants of Louis Kelcher. I guarantee if you can move Louis Kelcher, you can move buildings. That guy should have a 7-digit number on his uniform. He's a zip code all by himself.
They're in the 3rd at Tiger Stadium. Detroit leading at 3-1. Here it's Pittsburgh 10-7. Malone downfield and intending it for number 87, Ouija Thompson. And Thompson was all tied up down there. And you can see some frustration there on Mark Malone's face.
Ronnie Lott with the coverage on Ouija Thompson. Ouija turned inside. Obviously, that's where the pass was drawn up on the chalkboard.
Yeah, when he turned inside, Lott was there. Looked like it was his turn on the dance card. I'll tell you that.
That was a do-si-do. No flags thrown.
Well, here's a big play now in this drive. 3rd down and 7 with 10 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter, and the Steelers up 10-7. Ouija Thompson set to the far side. Stallworth here to the near side. Single setback.
Looks like blitz.
Malone gets it away, and it's over the head of Stallworth. Stallworth turned at the 45. Penalty marker is down.
This may be an illegal chuck on Eric Wright, number 21. He's had Stallworth in coverage all day and has not done very well. Let's see if we can pick it up.
Marker down.
That's Ronnie Lott that time on Stallworth, and it was called to the other side of the field. I think it's on Eric Wright.
Holding, number 21, defense, first down.
That was the call. It goes against Eric Wright.
These guys are the catalyst of this football team, the defensive backs. They're the most aggressive players on the team. They're great in coverage. They have not played well today.
Less than 4.5 average years in the league. 64 interceptions for that foursome back there. First down. Pittsburgh from their own 44. And that is Abercrombie. And a little shoving going on as Carlton Williamson, number 27, made the tackle.
That was Ronnie Lott and Weegee Thompson. Nose to nose.
You know, Abercrombie's had some knee problems. He was bothered in '83. He is a big play threat, but hasn't been able to do much.
Watch the bottom of the screen. You see Lott taking a shot at Weegee Thompson. Weegee Thompson back.
Hello there.
Well, that happens. That happens. You know, this is not a Sunday social.
You got that right. Second down and 5. Scoop Gillespie in the lineup, number 26. They give it off to Pollard. And Pollard looks like he's got a first down as he moved it inside the 45-yard line. And the Steeler offensive line playing very, very well here this afternoon. Ricky Ellison, 50, and Dwight Hicks, 22, made the tackle.
Noel got to be extremely pleased. Last week, guard play was a little shaky. This week, it's been outstanding. They've controlled that ball, the Pittsburgh Steelers have. They started this drive at their own 9-yard line. Now just across the 50, 11th play coming up in this drive.
The Steelers, 22nd in the NFL rushing, 13th in total offense, but the offensive line, as we've mentioned, got to be given credit for a good day today, and we'll see whether somebody pulled him off or not.
That's the second one, I believe, on Tunch Ilkin, offensive left tackle.
Meeting of the minds there. Ilkin 62 and Wingle 61 both appeared to be moving.
Number 62, offense.
It's Ilkin again. For that man, Chuck Noll.
You know, strangely, in this football game, we haven't had a sack by either team yet. And
That's
we're
right.
8:25 left to go in the third quarter.
Of course, David Woodley has suffered 2 concussions in what is still a very young season. The Steelers, coming into today's game, only have a 3.1-yard rushing average. Got to be a lot better than that here in the first half.
Look at this. Well, that's like the Pittsburgh Steelers of 7-8 years ago. Just never give you a chance to score.
8:25 left to go, third quarter. First and 15 for Pittsburgh. Malone using play action, throwing to the far sideline. Penalty marker is thrown. It's against Eric Wright. He had the coverage on Stallworth, and they were scratching at it over there.
Yeah. Let me tell you another thing. Eric Wright was very lucky that he wasn't just thrown out of the game. He just
bumped that official, didn't
You're
he?
right. They're going to get him on the first bump here. You'll watch the initial contact.
Defensive pass interference, number 21, first down.
Right there. That's where they're calling it. I think that's a good call, although San Francisco can argue that, look, the receiver fell down. What's the defender to do?
Was it a catchable ball?
Yes.
Okay. 8:18 to go. The clock stopped. Third quarter. Steelers 10. San Francisco 7. Look again. There's the bump.
He knows he's wrong. He got right out of the official's face at that point.
First down, Steelers. The give goes to Abercrombie on a big play by number 65, Lawrence Pillars, the 9-year veteran from Alcorn. A free agent find.
And the thing that's helped Pittsburgh all day long, Jay, is their ability to run the football. They've been able to use that play-action fake to hold the linebackers, single up someone in coverage, and Stallworth has been open all day long. Chuck Noll's got to be extremely pleased with the performance of his team on the road today.
Redskins up by 10, third quarter. On second down, Malone straight back, penalty marker down. Almost intercepted by number 58, Keena Turner. Keena, a former All-American at Purdue with 4 career interceptions, almost got away with that one. And as we mentioned, penalty markers down, holding against Pittsburgh.
Turner almost there to make the interception. This is the first time a penalty has really hurt the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Steelers are really featuring Abercrombie all of a sudden.
Can't say that I blame them. They're still waiting for this kid to emerge as the superstar they thought he'd be.
The referee, Pat Haggerty.
Holding, number 79, offense, second down.
The holding call going against Larry Brown, the 14-year veteran out of Kansas. Ball is at the 46-yard line. 7:28 to play in the third quarter.
Well, now let's see what happens on what kind of defense San Francisco uses again. Okay, they got a 4-man front. Now, this is pretty standard. They got 5 defensive backs and 1 linebacker.
Capers at the top of the screen. Thompson down at the bottom. Penalty marker goes down.
I believe the 30-second clock expired.
And boy, is Malone unhappy. He thought they took a cheap shot at him. Malone is really hot. The penalty marker went down back at the 30-yard line in the San Francisco secondary.
Offense.
30-second clock expires, and just at the snap of the ball, I don't think anyone heard the whistle. Malone stops.
You saw the flag thrown. There was no way for
Big Hands Johnson.
Big Hands to make a right turn at that point, wasn't it?
Strange. San Francisco gets Louis Kelcher and Big Hands Johnson from San Diego, and San Diego's got no defense whatsoever, and here they play very well.
They didn't have any today against Kansas City. That's Abercrombie. Fumble, penalty marker down. Well, a big pile up and a marker down, and we'll wait till they unravel this one. Steelers retain possession. Underneath there, Abercrombie came up with it.
Well, this is the thing that in the last 3 games
holding Pittsburgh
has hurt the Pittsburgh Steelers. Penalties. First half they had but 3. Now they've had 4 penalties on this drive. Thanks to our statistician, Dennis Benishin.
Dennis flown in from Los Angeles at no great expense to be with us here today. Always nice to have him.
Shame on you, Jay.
It's always great to have him here. And, of course, Jeff Mason heading up our crew for NBC this afternoon, along with Mr. Jim Cross. Penalty goes against Chris Kolodziejski, the tight end, the rookie from Wyoming. And the Steelers are going the wrong way. It's back at the Steeler 39-yard line, and it's going to be second down and 34.
Oh, this is Ricky. Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Fine. Do you want to warm up?
I was born warmed up. Up or down? What? Up or down? Up. Down it is. All right, sir. Ricky, too?
Well, do you prefer forehand or backhand?
Doesn't matter. Either one.
Okay, I'll play backhand then.
Okay.
We'll annihilate them.
It's a good chance to use that Oriental grip I was telling you about.
Oh, that's right. Oh, watch out for Woody. He has a terrific serve.
No sweat.
Serving 2.
Fire it on in here, Whitley.
Wes, are you all right? Are you okay?
Are you okay, cowboy?
What can I do? Do you want...
I'm okay.
Should I get some ice or something?
No. I better go to the bathroom, though.
Okay, you want me to take you?
No, just tell me where it is.
Okay. You go, it's on the first floor.
Okay.
You know the fountain with Cupid standing in it?
Yeah.
Just go over there. Somebody will tell you where it is.
Okay.
That was a cheap shot, Whitley. An obvious, deliberate, intentional cheap shot.
He just doesn't know how to play tennis very well, that's all.
You promised me you were going to be nice to me.
Ah, Susan, he's a big boy. He's going to be just fine. I'm sure he is. Let's just forget about it and let's play tennis.
They've done an outstanding job that last possession, 7 minutes and 49 seconds. That's their third drive today, Jay, over 6 minutes. And that's the one thing that is going to produce winning numbers for any football team. Just keeping a potent offense like the San Francisco 49ers off the field.
49ers start from their 12-yard line. 5:51 to play in the third quarter. Montana on first down in trouble, got it away, and it is complete out to Roger Craig. Boy, Montana did an excellent job of getting that away. Looked like he might have been caught for a two-pointer. It was Merriweather.
Now you can see what Pittsburgh is trying to do. On the minus 20-yard line here, Washington now extending their lead over Dallas. I wonder who's at quarterback for the Cowboys, Hogaboom or White?
They were supposed to start Hogaboom.
Yeah, but San Francisco backed up here. Pittsburgh still coming with that blitz. Merriweather right in the face of Joe Montana.
Second down and 10. Sweeping to the near sideline, Tyler. And Tyler got maybe one. Get word that Hogaboom is still at quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys of Tom Landry, struggling at the moment. Gary Dunn, number 67, is the nose man who made that play.
Big assist to Sam Washington, number 41, too. He took on that guard, and there was a pile there right in the middle. John Ayers was trying to block Washington, and basically Tyler had no place to run, Jay.
Third down and 9. Fake to draw, throw over the middle, complete for a first down to Dwight Clark. Clark at the 30-yard line. Hit by Eric Williams, a pickup of 17. DC, the man from Clemson, and Montana goes to him when they need the play.
Excellent play action fake by Joe Montana. Watch what happens. They fake the draw, holds the linebackers just for a split second. That allows Dwight Clark to get down there between the defensive backs and the linebackers. Big catch. And that's a group tackle by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
3 catches, 45 yards. That was a group, wasn't it? Williams, 21, and Woodruff, 49, leading the way. So a big first down for the 49ers. 3:45 to play in the third quarter. Here it comes to Roger Craig. Craig steps out over the 40, 45, midfield. No flags. Roger Craig showing fine ability as he picks up 21 yards.
Big block by Earl Cooper leading this play, but watch Merriweather from the other side of the field get over there to make the tackle. Excellent run by San Francisco. Nice call. They brought in that second tight end. I don't think Pittsburgh noticed it, and they ran away from the support of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You saw there why Craig was the 4th leading rusher all time at Nebraska. Williams, 21, and Merriweather, 57, ran him out of bounds.
Good call.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line of the Steelers for the 49ers. Here's Montana on the run, out of bounds at the 39. First down. Washington over there to run him out, but a pickup of 11 and a first down, and you can feel the 49er motor begin to run a little smoother here.
You're right. Pittsburgh comes with a blitz. You'll see it from the left-hand side of the screen. Picked up. Montana realizes the blitz. Look at Robin Cole out there trying to get back. This is a great run by Joe Montana. Outlegging Washington to the sideline. 1 foot past the first down marker. And he runs out of bounds.
3 minutes and 28 seconds left in the third quarter. Pittsburgh leading 10-7, first and 10, 49ers. Wilson goes in motion. And they hand it off. That was Tyler inside the 35. A sellout here today, 61,413, and better than 59,000 have showed up. Great tribute to the football fans of this area who have turned out to see the Niners try to win their 7th without a loss. Donnie Shell, number 31, made the stop on Tyler, who now has 39 yards on 8 carries.
Bad day for Wendell Tyler. But at least San Francisco is regaining the line of scrimmage here now with this drive.
Monroe is in the backfield now, 32. Wilson set to the right side. And in trouble, Montana. Running for his life. Throws incomplete. Well, they were firing in on him. He got the pass away. Couldn't get enough on it to get it to Monroe.
Boy, that was a double blitz there. That was a dog. He had Merriweather 57, Donnie Shell 31.
Donnie Shell reminded me of Larry Wilson coming with that safety blitz as he did years ago.
Out of St. Louis, both of them. He does a great job to get it off, and of course the receiver does a great job of trying to get over there to be a receiver for Joe Montana, so it's not intentional grounding. That cost them a play.
3rd down and 5 at the 34.
Well, what do you call here, Jay? 5? Let's see what the defense is.
I think he's got to throw.
It's a standard defense now for Pittsburgh.
Monroe goes in motion. The throw is complete. 1st down to Clark. He goes to Clark whenever he needs the big play. Pickup of 10. 1st down, 49ers. Tackle by Washington.
Ran motion to the other side of the field. Created single coverage. Washington just a 3-step drop, look, throw it. And Clark, an awful big receiver. Washington's 5'8". Clark is like 6'5 and a half. There's a lot to throw to there. Clark did come out on the sideline, too. He got hit right in the thigh.
He's walking it off along the near 35-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 25. And we may have an audible called by Montana. Looks like he checked off the play. And now a flag, and did he?
Yeah, time expired
on time.
Yeah, they had 3 tight ends in the ball game that time. Interesting formation. Had 3 tight ends, 1 wide receiver, and 1 running back. And it appeared that they were going to go away once again from the support of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the clock expired. Montana complaining, saying that it started too quick.
Well, they put the ball back at the 30-yard line. You know, last week, the Steelers faced Miami. And Miami gives you a lot of looks on offense, and I wonder, there's something like similar to the 49ers in your mind.
Yeah, very similar. You're right, and it just takes a lot of time for your defense to really settle in on what you're going to do. So you play a pretty standard defense.
Wilson in motion to give to Tyler. Tyler cutting it back in down to the 25-yard line. Got the 5 back. Merriweather 57 on the tackle.
Jay, that was a great play by Merriweather, too. There was a nice little lane for Tyler to get up through there. And Merriweather just found a little seam between blockers and was able to get his arm in there and get Tyler to the ground.
He had some help from Keith Willis, number 93. Ball just shy of the 25-yard line. 3-2. The Padres in a must-win situation, trying to battle back 4th inning. Here, the 49ers trying to battle back with 1:05 left in the 3rd quarter. And the bootleg by Montana on the run. And he's down to the 15. He's down to the 13-yard line and got a 1st down. Montana picks up 12. The young man who was once a 7th-string quarterback at Notre Dame.
This was designed to be a pass to Roger Craig. You see him talking there, but Craig gets held up at the line of scrimmage. Excellent call. Watch 33. He's held right there by Merriweather. And Montana has nobody to throw it to, but the thing I'm impressed with, what's that? Wait a minute.
Looks like a running back, doesn't he? Who did he take a shot from Woodruff? 5th 1st down of this drive. Bill Walsh looking out at his club. Down 10-7. 20 seconds left, 3rd quarter. In motion, Cooper. Montana comes out of there, throws it out, and incomplete. They call it a forward pass. It was close. Montana did a great job scrambling. Craig couldn't hold on. That's the 2nd time today he's dropped a catchable ball. Brian Hinkle, number 53, the linebacker, out there for the Steelers.
Montana's done an excellent job of escaping that pass rush.
Young man from New Eagle, Pennsylvania, was offered a basketball scholarship at North Carolina State. Got the call from the folks under the Golden Dome at the last minute. Went to Notre Dame.
You amaze me, Jay Randolph.
2nd down and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Blitz.
Montana throws. It is complete. And that is Craig. He was at the 10. Got up, came back, Shell hit him, and let's see where they're going to give the forward progress. To about the 10-yard line.
He catches this one down on his knees, Jay Watts. He slips on that turf. Montana's still able to get it in. He almost drops that one.
Well, they're going to spot that ball at the 12. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
I'm Bryant Gumbel. Today puts you face to face with the world, the unfolding drama behind the headlines, people, places. Get the whole picture. Weekday mornings on Today.
From the World Series to the President.
When night comes out to play.
Turn it loose with a silver bullet. Find it, catch it, grab it, pull it. It's the right light one when you hit the town. Coors Light will never, ever, ever slow you down. Feel it light, party right. Turn it loose with the silver bullet tonight.
Coors Light Beer.
Don't try to slow me down. I'm going for Black Angus tonight. Well, it's a steak worth going for. Tender and done just right. But when I'm going for steak and I'm going for fun, oh, Black Angus is the one. I'm going for Black Angus tonight.
I'm Stuart Anderson. For a great steak at a great price, ranching experience gives my Black Angus restaurant the edge. It's a steak worth going for.
Go for Black Angus tonight.
Why should you buy JCPenney Auto Insurance?
Because JCPenney Auto works harder for me.
They give me a great deal on rates.
They settle 88% of our claims in 3 business days after proof of loss.
The thing I like is that JCPenney Auto lets me choose the garage for repair.
I get 50% more medical coverage when I fasten my seatbelt.
I bought it because it's JCPenney Auto Insurance.
Why should you buy JCPenney Auto Insurance?
They work harder.
Sports highlights and scores tonight at 11:25.
Shell got a hand on it. Time for Ray Wershing and the field goal kicking unit.
That was Dwight Clark in motion. Pittsburgh handled this very, very well. This ball is almost picked off by Donnie Shell. He has a habit of coming up with those plays. Don't I remember last year, was it 2 years ago, that Shell had like 4 or 5 interceptions right at the end of the game for Pittsburgh to win.
30-yard field goal attempt coming up for Wershing. Montana puts it down. It is up, and it is good. They say that's the toughest end of the stadium to kick at because of the wind swirling down there. We're tied up here.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway. Looking for adventure. And whatever comes our way.
We shaped the Mercury Cougar to help the car hug the highway. It's a shape you'll always feel good in. Just like that old leather jacket.
Born to be wild.
Cougar. From Mercury.
When Lotus introduced 1-2-3 software, it became the talk of the business world. And 1-2-3 quickly took its rightful place at the top of the PC software sales charts. But people said...
Lotus, what are you doing for an encore?
Lotus announces Symphony. 1-2-3 and new Symphony software from Lotus. One great idea after another.
Today's game is brought to you by Lincoln. What a luxury car should be. By Lotus, makers of 1, 2, 3, and new Symphony software. And by the United States Postal Service. Discover stamp collecting. Discover the America you may never get to see.
Jay, we mentioned that this has been a game of long drives. Pittsburgh has had a 6-minute and 15-second drive for a touchdown, 6:27 for a field goal, 7:49 and got nothing. San Francisco, a 7-minute drive for a touchdown, and that 6-minute drive for a field goal.
Wershing kicks off. Spencer at the goal line. At the 10, 15. Spencer out to the 21-yard line. Oh, the Steelers will have it when we come back. It's tied up here at 10.
A Mercedes owner with an eye for exceptional cars has just seen one. The Continental Mark 7. He wants to get a better look at it. For now, he must be content with the knowledge that this new Mark gives Mercedes something it hasn't had before. Competition. The Continental Mark 7.
What more could we ask of you? To be any more eager to help? Readier to show some affection? Or prove your devotion? Who better deserves to be honored on stamps? If you've never collected stamps before, now you can start with something you love. The new dog stamps.
You, Cleo?
Now at the post office.
The NFL plays here, Los Angeles.
It's the oldest and most bitter rivalry from the original AFL. Now, can the Raiders go for 6 straight against the Chargers?
The NFL plays here, San Diego.
Dan Fouts provides the Chargers ammunition for this Southern California shootout.
The Raiders battle the Chargers. The NFL plays here.
My team plays here.
With Bob Trumpy, Jay Randolph, Pittsburgh and San Francisco tied up 10-10. Ties apparently the order of the day. Tiger Stadium. 3-3, 4th inning. First and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Steelers. Mark Malone quarterbacking Pittsburgh. Handoff going to Pollard. Pollard gets about 4. Pollard banging out to the 24-yard line where he's hit by Ricky Ellison, number 50.
San Francisco's missed a lot of tackles today. 79 Jim Stuckey had Pollard in the backfield. Tina Turner finally in there to make the tackle. But he could have been stopped in the backfield had Stuckey just wrapped him up.
Turner, a number 2 draft pick, really an outstanding player. Pollard now with 78 yards on 17 carries. Look at some scores. That's Rich Ehrenberg, number 24. Carlton Williamson, number 27, makes the tackle. Minnesota still leading the Raiders in the 3rd quarter. Here we're 10-10, 13:35 to play in regulation. The Steelers were involved in the first overtime game in the history of the National Football League at Denver, a 35 all-time.
Here they come with their hippos again now. Tunchilkin, they got Snell, they got all the big guys in there.
3rd down and 2. And getting the call is Pollard.
He's close.
Very close. My guess is he got it. He really fired in there. First down.
First down.
I would tend to think that Pittsburgh would continue to run. Pollard has been very good on that trap up the middle. Wouldn't you say, Jay? They're going to be very conservative with the football here, I think. They don't want to turn it over. Last 3 games, that's been Pittsburgh's problem.
Stallworth is out to the left side. Capers set to the right. Al Malone's going to put it up. And it's intercepted. Coming back with it. Down to the 20-yard line. A first down for San Francisco. And boy, oh boy, a 19-yard return on the play. Coming away with it, Tina Turner. We just talked about what an outstanding job he's done. And one of the Steelers shaken up. Well, I was surprised he put it up here.
I am too. Of course, plays come from the bench. You see the pressure. He never should have thrown that football. Absolutely should not have thrown that. That's pretty obvious.
Yep, that is pretty obvious.
That's stating the obvious. But
trying to get it to Kolodziejski, the tight end, and a big, big turnover. And Montana can operate with his club right now. Malone explaining to his coach. Apparently, he thought there was a problem with a pattern, maybe.
No, it makes no difference. No. You don't throw the ball late down the middle, Jay. No matter how many years you've played, You don't throw the ball late down the middle. That's the inexperience of someone like Malone, just his first start since 1981.
Ray Snell is going off, the veteran, number 72 from Wisconsin. Came over from Tampa Bay in the deal for Steve Corson.
Big Hands Johnson got the pressure on Malone. He should have just taken it. To this point, neither team with a turnover.
There's Snell going off, and a disconsolate Chuck Noll at the moment, certainly. 10-10 and a very big turnover.
Snell is that's a big loss to the offensive line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're not particularly healthy there.
They've had their hands full, and they played well here today. I'll say that again. But here are the 49ers with an opportunity to get the lead. Wilson set to the top of the screen. Up the middle, they give it to Roger Craig. Craig back down to the 16-yard line. Coming up to make the tackle was the nose man, number 67, Gary Dunn. 12 minutes and 5 seconds remaining to be played. We had a scoreless third period. 10-7 Pitt at halftime.
Jack Lambert's still in the ballgame. I'm absolutely amazed that guy has not been able to really practice for 6 weeks and is out there. Took a little short breather at second quarter, but other than that, has played the entire game, so.
He's a toughie. Second down, about 5, timeout call. So we'll take a timeout. We're tied up here at Candlestick in San Francisco.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
The Paul Newman Carl Haas Budweiser racing team is pouring it on in the Championship Racing Series, and they're playing to win. This Bud's for you.
What's this, tough guy? Aftershave skin conditioner.
I know. I thought I was the only guy with sensitive skin.
Every time I shave, I get it right here.
What do you fellas use? Because shaving irritates my whole face.
After. Try it.
Looks different.
Oh, it's rich. It's a lotion.
After Sue's razor scrape sensitive skin.
Hey, this feels great. And smells good, too. Terrific.
Sensible care for sensitive skin. Aftershave skin conditioner.
By Menon.
A U.S. Marine, a raft guide, a cross-country skier, a special breed of athlete, a special breed of man, one who challenges nature and himself. 8 men face the rugged wilderness of Oregon's Snake River on a 90-minute survival of the fittest.
Second down coming up for the San Francisco 49ers. They're operating down at the end of the field that has been newly turfed, where the baseball diamond of the Giants was. And they give it to Tyler. He steps outside, and he is inside the 10, down to the 7. First down, goal to go, 49ers. Well, Tyler turned it on that time.
You're right. Did you notice the formation? They had strength to the right, which put Donnie Shell to the right, ran to the left. You see Jack Lambert there trying to run underneath the block, and he's just not there to make. There's the move right there. First down, San Francisco. Excellent call.
Rick Woods made the tackle, number 22. They're sending Wilson back into the lineup along with Dwight Clark now. First and goal to go for the 49ers at the 7-yard line. Derek Harmon, the rookie, is in the backfield, number 24, along with Roger Craig, 33. And they pitch it back. Harmon throws the halfback pass, and the intended receiver, Francis, falls down.
No, he was not.
Well, I know Francis is going to have a say with the official. They were throwing the halfback pass to Francis. It was there, but Russ was flat on his back.
Dragged down by the defensive back, number 21 of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Eric Williams, gets the primary receiver on the ground. Let's see if we can see it here. This is a roll right. Francis should come from. Well, you can't really
there
see
he goes.
It. He's on the ground.
Yep.
We can't see how he got there, but believe me, Pittsburgh got away with one there.
Second down, goal to go. receivers to the right side. Craig in motion, give up the middle. Tyler, touchdown! Tough yards, a remarkably gutty run up the middle by Tyler.
Yeah, we got a flag, Jay, but we got a dead ball flag. Once again, they ran motion this way, went away from the support of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You see Williams trying to tackle the ball. You're right, that's 7 tough yards for Wendell Tyler in a score. As I said, we got a dead ball flag. It's not going to affect the touch.
Sportsmanlike offense and defense after the play disregarded.
That's too bad. They call it on both sides. Why even call it? It's still a touchdown.
And the 6th touchdown of the season for the man from UCLA, Wendell Tyler. And for the first time today, with 10:48 remaining to be played in this game, the 49ers have the lead.
And it's all because of that one turnover. It would be a shame if the ball game ends with this score, and the only mistake Pittsburgh makes all day is that one turnover, Jay.
Wersching with the point after. Penalty markers are down. Penalty markers down.
I have a feeling this is kind of the leftovers from.
Defense is good.
Too many men on the field.
On the kickoff.
Well, it was worth a try, I guess. 10:48 to play. San Francisco 17, Pittsburgh 10.
Listen, baby, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby.
If you need me, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe.
Just send for me, oh, baby.
Today, people are getting into better shapes than ever. Shapes that use the wind to help Mercury cars cling to the road. Shapes Mercury will be in for years because handling, comfort, and quality never go out of style.
Ray Wersching is going to kick off, and he'll do it from the 40, the 5-yard penalty on the infraction by the Steelers on the extra point being stepped off. Wersching behind Tommy Davis and Gordy Soltau, the all-time scoring list of the 49ers. Saw Gordy here this afternoon. Looks great. Kick coming down. Spencer coming out. Uh-oh. He got to the 16, and that's as far as he could get. And I want to tell you, he almost got unloaded on by number 32. Carl Monroe. It was Bill Ring who made the play. Seattle. Boy, Buffalo has come back. They were down in that one. Raiders and Minnesota now 13 all. Here it is 17-10. San Francisco has the lead. 17-yard line for the Steelers. Double pump. Malone is sacked. No, they're going to say incomplete pass.
Flag down, Jay.
Penalty marker down. We could have holding as Malone just barely got his arm moving forward. Carter, the rookie out of SMU, making the play, number 95, and the penalty will go against the Steelers.
Malone to this point now, 8 of 13 for 117 yards, 1 interception. Watch the pressure he gets, though. He almost tries to do it again. He pumps there. Now, don't look inside. Look outside, which is right. Is that Big Hands Johnson that's up there off the ground that knocks it down? Or
I think it was Carter.
Michael Carter.
10.5 minutes to play in this one as San Francisco has the lead and the Steelers are backed up.
Holding, number 62, offense.
Tunch Ilkin. Jay, how about this? First half, the only problems that Pittsburgh had were 2 minor penalties. Second half, 6 penalties and an interception.
First and 19, back at the 8-yard line. Handoff going to Ehrenberg. Ehrenberg sweeps it around and gets away and up the sidelines, very close to the first down. Well, there you saw something that Bob Trumpy was talking about earlier, the poor tackling of the 49ers. Good job, though, by Ehrenberg, and a nice block by Wingle, 61, pickup of 16 yards.
You don't see anybody trying to take out the interference. Now watch this. He should be down. Certainly a tip of the cap to Ehrenberg. He's a tough runner, but that's very poor tackling by San Francisco.
Second down and 3, out at the 24-yard line. Gotta hand it to these Steelers. They've hung in here this afternoon.
You're right, Jay.
Little counter play to Pollard, and he has a first down all the way to the 37-yard line, and the Steelers aren't done, I'll tell you. Pollard picks up 13.
Caught him in a blitz, and once you get through that line of scrimmage, Jay, the next guy to make the tackle is the safety. Ellison, 50, just fired through the line of scrimmage. A great job done by the center and the 2 guards of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if he gets 100 yards, will be the Steelers' first 100-yard rushing performance by a running back this year, and that's the best so far.
Hicks 22 and Shell 90 made the tackle. Clock running with 9:40 to play. First down, Steelers. Again, the give goes to Pollard. This is Pollard's career high. We get word of that as he picks up a couple more. And Turner 58 and Ford 76 make the tackle as Coach Chuck Noll looks out into the sun at his Steelers, who now have to try and come back against a team, the 49ers, who came back here.
Jay, just a point. They haven't gone to Stallworth in quite a while. First half, he was open out there in the flat 12, 15 yards deep. Second down at 7. Would you think they might go back to him?
They certainly might. On second down and 8, they put Ehrenberg in motion to the far sideline. Malone throws, and a great catch at midfield by Wayne Capers. That was Ronnie Lott right there with him, and Capers makes the catch, an 11-yard pickup. Capers, who played at Kansas,
does an excellent job of rifling that ball in there, and this is a good catch by Capers. No reason for him to go up off the turf. If he kept his feet, a little better off, but almost there. Lott's been beat a lot today, hasn't he?
We get word that Craig has a bruised elbow, but he should be able to return. Here's Pollard cutting it back into the middle, and he got about a yard, maybe 2. Tough going in there. Pollard shaken up. McCall, number 53, on the tackle.
Start of another time-consuming drive by the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is the 7th play of this drive. Washington just pouring it on Dallas.
Anthony Corley, number 40, has replaced Pollard in the backfield for the Steelers.
I see what they're doing on John Stallworth now, Jay.
They hand it off to Ehrenberg. He gets outside, and Ehrenberg has a first down, I believe, as he got it inside the 40-yard line. Carlton Williamson, number 27, on the tackle, and how about these Steelers coming right back up the field?
Well, when they can rush the ball the way they have today, they're an exceptional football team, because the whole premise of the Pittsburgh Steelers offense is play action. And of course, for play action to work, you've got to be able to run the football. They have really poured their heart and soul into this offensively. To this point in the season, the defense has really carried this Pittsburgh Steelers football. First down, really carried this football team. And today, the offense has certainly done itself proud.
They're in the 5th of the World Series, tied up 3-3. San Francisco leading here 17-10. The Steelers moving the football. First down at the 39-yard line of the 49ers. Capers goes to the far side. Pollard is back in. Hand off to Ehrenberg. Ehrenberg gets to the 35. Carlton Williamson, 27 on the tackle with help from Ricky Ellison, number 50. And again, Trumpy, I've got to say, Robert, that this offensive line, banged up as it is, playing with a tremendous amount of intensity for the Steelers this afternoon.
Yeah, right tackle, 77. Steve August, he just got here this week, and he's in there already because Ray Snell has hurt his knee. Oh, they're doing a great job.
Stallworth to the near side. Second down and 6. The pass is almost caught by Stallworth. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Eric Wright hanging all over him, and Stallworth almost came up with it.
Jay, once again, we see the ball underthrown. Stallworth looking back at the quarterback. Boy, he's shifty. See, he's looking back. Wright's not. And he almost makes the catch.
If Wright turns and steps in, he intercepts it. But it's a little hard to take your eyes off Stallworth.
You're right. Now we got an entire change for the San Francisco defense. They got 3, 5, 6 defensive backs.
Third down and 6.
Here's the trap up the middle again, Jay. See, no middle linebacker.
There it is. And he might have the first down. It's very, very close. That's been there quite often this afternoon. On 3 occasions, you've called it, Bob, as Williamson made the tackle, number 27, and Emil Boris did a good job blocking.
The thing that surprises me, too, is generally on a defense, when you beat it once, they don't come back to it. But San Francisco has repeatedly gone to that defense, and every single time, Pittsburgh is able to run the trap up the middle. Obviously, an audible at the line of scrimmage, and the center and the 2 guards are doing an excellent job up there.
Pollard having the best day of his life, 105 yards. Oh, boy. Inches, about 4.
You go for it.
You bet you do. Down 7 with 6:13 to play. Well, Pollard has had a big afternoon. Do you go away from him here, or do you go with him?
Give it to him again.
Pollard and Ehrenberg in the backfield behind Mark Malone. Malone.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know either.
This is totally on the mark, Jay.
I'm going to guess that maybe half the ball. I'm going to guess maybe half the ball is across that line, but the mark will depend. Very, very close. Minnesota 7 up on the Raiders. Boy, this is going to be very close.
And this is totally at the discretion of the officials. I mean, there's no way to tell.
Well, they put it down. Half the ball.
You were right.
Half the ball. Chuck Knowles' club, Bill Walsh's team, really battling here this afternoon. This has been hard-fought football down on that field, especially in the trenches.
11th play of this drive, Jay.
Ehrenberg is set way out to the right side, 2 wide receivers left. Just Pollard behind Malone. The throw is complete. And on with the football goes the rookie Kolodziejski inside the 10-yard line. A pickup of 21 yards. Kolodziejski shaken up as he got it to the 7-yard line. And what a fine catch by the youngster from Wyoming. Got his first start on Monday night a couple of weeks ago.
This is linebacker coverage. You're right. This is a great catch. You see McCall, 53, there on the coverage. It looks like he hurts his, looks like he hurts his left leg.
And of course, this is a tremendous problem for the Steelers. With Cunningham on injured reserve, Kolodziejski the only tight end they have. Back with more in a moment.
Sat down with Mom, talked to Dad. Can't get it together, makes you feel sad. You know you can do it, you wonder where. You want it soon because you really care. The services can help you so you not only get better, you really grow. Talking Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. They'll take you, train you, show you the way. You'll work hard, get decent pay in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Prove you can make it. Prove it to all. Serving your country and walking tall in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. You've got it together. They'll see in a glance. Thanks to the services, you got the chance in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. It's a great place to start.
Whether your company has a few employees or thousands, welcome.
Welcome to National Westminster Bank, USA.
We're eager to meet the needs of growing companies.
As part of an $85 billion connection, we're serving some of America's largest companies.
And our worldwide resources are available to meet your international needs.
So from all of us, welcome.
Welcome to National Westminster Bank, USA.
Kolodziejski going off.
And you can see why. Just as he plants his foot, Carlton Williamson makes the contact. Watch his left leg. Next step. His foot hits the ground, and he gets nailed. Oh, excuse me. I said Kolodziejski. That's not true. It's Dwight Hicks. That's a knee problem. Who they have at tight end? They don't have a tight end. They got 3 wide receivers.
3 wide receivers. And the handoff up the middle going to Pollard. Pollard got a yard. McCall made the tackle.
Now, they got a problem now, Jay. This is a spot where it certainly calls for 2 tight ends. They don't have any tight ends. I wonder if Pittsburgh will go with the hippo lineup where they bring in those extra offensive linemen. This Kolodziejski will try to get a report from the sideline.
He was born in Germany, grew up in Santa Monica, California. They really liked his ability. He's strong, agile young man.
3 wides again.
3 wide receivers again. Stallworth and Garrity off to the right side. And they give it to Pollard. Pollard goes down at the 6-yard line. White Hicks, 22. Dwayne Board, 76.
With the football.
Yes, sir, on the play.
That's that weak side underneath handoff. You see 61 out there leading the charge for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Blake Wingle. But San Francisco waiting.
Got Capers back into the game, number 80. With Stallworth, 82. Garrity, 86.
Now let's see where Stallworth is. He's going to be on Eric Wright. Eric Wright. There's Kolodziejski going in.
3rd down. Malone got time throwing, and his receiver slipped. Capers slipped. I think he's claiming he was interfered with, but they couldn't get it to him.
Tough pattern to run, too. Ran a slant right into the goalpost and then tried to turn all the way around and go back out to the sideline. I think if Malone had waited just a little bit longer, he could have gotten the ball in. He almost catches it anyway. That's not a bad throw.
3:36 to play. They're going to go for 7. Going to go for the touchdown. 3:36 to play. Now, some people might say, well, maybe you should kick the field goal. But they're going to go for it right here. Capers to the right side. Garrity to the left. Stallworth set to the left side. Malone, lots of time. Malone now rolling, throwing over the middle. Oh, great play by Eric Wright.
Flag. They're going to call interference.
Oh, they call interference.
Very late flag. Jay, I think he was looking for Stallworth all the way. You see Stallworth's to the left. He pumps once. He's still looking at it. He sees the pressure. He's still looking at it. I think they got him on the left arm on the back of the receiver and the back of Stallworth. Now, the official that called it was standing right underneath the goalpost.
First down, goal to go. Steelers at the 1. Eric Wright. There's Stallworth. Wright comes on.
Well, I don't know about that call. I'm telling you, we can't see the back of the receiver, obviously, and that's the only side the official could see. I don't know how you can put an official in that situation.
Steelers call timeout. Steelers taking a timeout. Chuck Noll with his club with an opportunity to tie this one back up.
Jay, there's been an awful lot of conversation here about exactly whether there's some over-officiating or not. Now, I'll tell you this. From behind the receiver and the defensive back, how can the official possibly see when the ball makes contact with the receiver and still see the contact between defender and receiver from behind? That seems to me a point where you go to the guy and say, look, we got to have a talk here. How do we get this worked out? I would have hoped that the officials would have gotten together and asked, what did you see? As opposed to just being so positive about it. That's a very tough call to make.
You see the young man, number 10 there, Scott Campbell, who would play if Malone would have an injury. Campbell, who played at Purdue. He's from Hershey, Pennsylvania. I will show you this play again just a moment ago.
No,
You be the judge.
This is the only mistake that Malone has made all day. Don't throw the ball late down the middle. Big Hands Johnson with the pressure, right to Keena Turner. The only turnover of the ball game resulted in 7 points for the San Francisco 49ers, and that's why Pittsburgh is behind 17-10.
The Steelers have come back. You know, this is a club with great tradition. A team, as we said at the top of the show, in transition. We talked at the top of the show about the fact that San Francisco had been running the ball with more success. Today, it turns out that the Steelers run the ball with success and control the game.
And that's the key, controlling the line of scrimmage.
Goal to go, Steelers. Stallworth to the right side. Ehrenberg and Pollard behind Malone. They're set now. Pollard goes
oh, no.
And all kinds of flags are thrown. Look like Wingle.
Something was wrong there all the way.
They were fouled up, and Malone had talked with his running backs.
False start, number 61, offense.
Wingle moved, number 61.
Sure enough, did.
Well, it'll come back out now to the 6. See number 86, Garrity, there alongside Coach Chuck Noll. He's had the Steelers in the playoffs 10 of the last 12 seasons. Right now it's 17-10. San Francisco, 3:26 to play in regulation time.
Jay, 7 of those penalties for the Steelers in the second half.
Stallworth set to the right side. Looked like the same play, but they used play action. Go for Stallworth.
Oh,
touchdown! Wow, what a play. Stallworth made that catch over Ronnie Lott. And the Steelers are a point away from tying it up.
They have gotten to Lott several times today. As we've documented throughout the football game, this defense is really dictated by its defensive backs. Oh, that's a great catch.
You won't see a better one than that. Stallworth now with 6 catches, 78 yards. The touchdown for Stallworth, his second of the season. Anderson with a point after. It's tied up 17-all with 3:21 to go. Well, we've got a dandy going here. The 49ers, they're big favorites, but right there is a man who's had himself an afternoon, and Malone has hung in tough, taking over for Woodley. And again, I want to mention this offensive line, all banged up, but they have hung in here this afternoon. The Pittsburgh Steelers with 10 of the 12 players they drafted this year having to play. A club that is in a big change. A club that got blasted last Sunday in Pittsburgh by Miami. Miami now 7-0 after the win over Houston. And the 49ers trying to get to 7-0 and having a very tough time.
You see student and teacher there. You saw Lewis Lips with John Stallworth. That's the way you do it. That is an outstanding performance by John Stallworth. There's Lewis Lips right there with your back to you in the t-shirt. Well, if you can learn from John Stallworth, Mr. Lips, you'll be fine.
Well, we've got overtime possibilities here, certainly.
No question about that. Obviously, Malone was looking only at Stallworth. He was the only receiver. I don't know what the second choice was, but there probably wasn't a second choice.
The kickoff by Anderson. Harmon is going to down it. It'll come out to the 20-yard line.
We got flags down.
Yep.
Offsides against Pittsburgh. They're going to have to kick it again.
Offsides, the kicking team, number 23.
Pittsburgh's Chris Brown is offside.
That's costly. Now those guys got to run another 50 yards. That's tough.
You know, Bob, we were talking about overtimes.
Wait a minute.
3:13 to play.
Jay, I just noticed something. Gary Anderson just walked over and quickly got some word from Chuck Noll. I don't know what that means, but Chuck Noll tried to get him some information quickly. I don't know what he's going to do. Maybe he'll scrib it along the ground as opposed to kicking it real deep.
Well,
let's see what happens here.
Well, he sets it up. There's no reason why they would would try anything.
No, not the onside kick.
Unusual, I don't.
He can still kick it in the middle of the ball and let it bounce. Whoops, wait a minute.
Now they have trouble with the alignment. Now they're squared away.
Now let's watch this closely. I don't know what's going to happen here. I may be wrong, but
Harmon and Monroe are downfield.
Nothing to it.
Well, they're kicking it to Harmon. Here's Harmon at the 10, 15, 20. Little opening, gets the 25, out to the 28, maybe to the 29-yard line. So the 49ers will take it from there with 3:03 remaining. Scoop Gillespie on the tackle.
Jay, you were going to tell me about overtime?
Well, yeah, because I was involved in the first overtime game with the Steelers, the first one in the regular season history of the NFL. That was played on September the 22nd of 1974. Seems like only yesterday that rule came into effect. But it was, in fact, 1974, and Pittsburgh and Denver played to a 35 all tie. Pittsburgh won a big overtime game over New England in '79. This pass comes out to Craig. Craig's across the 40, out to the 45-yard line. Woodruff, 49, making the stop along the shell 31, 15-yard pickup.
One thing about the Bill Walsh offense, there's always that outlet receiver out in the flat. Wherever he's been, there has been that outlet receiver. You saw Joe Montana flush from the pocket, and just out of second nature, Montana looks out there and knows that Craig is going to be there. By the way, the 49ers have 2 timeouts left.
2:20 remaining in regulation time. Wendell Tyler at the 50.
Flag down.
Penalty marker down. It might be holding against San Francisco as Washington and Williams, the right corner and the free safety, came up to make the stop. Holding against San Francisco.
Well, we'll see if we can pick it up. From behind the defense, this is a good job by Wendell Tyler just finding the little gap. I can't really.
Number 56, offense.
They call it on Quillen. He's blocking Gary Dunn.
The center, the 7-year veteran from Oregon.
A lot of times it's just the position of the arms as opposed to grabbing a hold of the jersey, Jay.
Bill Ring is in the backfield now for the 49ers, number 30. White Clark comes out to the right side. Wilson set left. 1st and 20.
Blitz.
Montana's got time, got a man, intercepted. Coming back with it is Hinkle. Hinkle down the sideline. Hinkle still going. All the way down inside the 5-yard line. Hinkle, a 42-yard return. He had an interception against Miami last week, but this one has to be the biggest in the career of the young man from Oregon, now in his 3rd season.
They got a blitz on one side, both Merriweather and Cole. He's the underneath coverage. This is an outstanding interception by Hinkle. No doubt about it. And then you don't see any San Francisco 49ers over there to make the tackle. Look, finally. Joe Montana finally gets him to the ground.
That's the longest return of a interception for Hinkle. His rookie year, you know, he spent that on injured reserve, so what a great job he does. The interception last week and now this one, and boy, oh boy, they are in business at the 3.
Throughout this entire game, we made the point that San Francisco didn't appear to really be mentally ready to play.
First and goal to go Steelers. Pollard goes in motion. Ehrenberg, nothing there. Boy, he was stalled. Leading the way, Keena Turner. 2-minute warning being given to both benches. Now, here comes another one of those fantastic finishes.
Alcoa presents Fantastic Finishes. 1975, Bum Phillips versus Don Shula. Needing more than a field goal, Dan Pastorini hands off to Ronnie Coleman. He cuts back inside one tackler, breaks outside, then rumbles over a second tackler, sidesteps a third, breaks the grip of a fourth, powers his way through tacklers 5, 6, and 7. Houston wins 20-19.
Jeffrey, helping Mother today was a good idea.
I certainly agree.
Please put these used cans in the big barrel. The big barrel, Jeffrey, the one for recycling.
Why?
Because aluminum cans are valuable. They can be recycled and made into brand new cans.
Why?
Because we've got to learn to use good things more than once.
I certainly agree.
Recycle. Buy beverages in aluminum cans and recycle.
Chuck Knoll chatting with Mark Malone, who stepped in today for David Woodley.
All right, Jay, we got a problem here. Remember, the Pittsburgh Steelers do not have a tight end. I see Ouija Thompson on the field. I see John Stallworth on the field. Now, I don't know if they have a goal line offense that involves the wide receivers, and maybe they just throw it 3 times into the end zone as opposed to try to run it. But without Golojeski and Benny Cunningham on the injured reserve, they're really short some people they need.
How about Malone with his size and strength, rolling and throwing if the man is there, or running?
That's entirely possible. I mean, they got a lot of options, but they're also missing a tight end. They have Ouija Thompson lined up at a tight end on the
Here's
outside
that
of the
same
screen.
formation we had a moment ago when they scored on the pass to Stallworth. Pollard goes in motion, pitch to Ehrenberg. Ehrenberg gets a couple.
Punch Ilkin was moving, left
Penalty
tackle.
marker down. Penalty marker down. Ellison on the tackle. Ilkin's had a tough day. He's been a little overzealous up there.
I think it's Ray Snell, number 72, back in the ball game.
Yep. Well, let's see what the call is.
Let's see who it is. It's either Snell or Ilkin.
We have a false start before the play was started. 62.
That was Ilkin.
It was Ilkin.
I'll tell you what, Jay.
4 seconds.
Right now, I'd be very careful with that football. I wouldn't want to take any chances, any possibility of a turnover. 3 points means a win. Let the time expire on the clock. Let it run down 25 seconds, and on 4th down, you kick the field goal.
Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. They put the 4 seconds back on the clock.
Yes, yes.
2 minutes to play.
Yeah, because it was before the ball was snapped, so it's got to go back to the 2-minute warning.
That's correct. They put it back on.
Now, what is it? It's 2nd down.
You got that.
They can get it down to about 55 seconds, and San Francisco, if they take their timeouts to stop the clock, will have no timeouts left, and then go for the field goal. This is a tough situation now.
They operate at the 8-yard line.
I'm not so sure I wouldn't fall on the ball.
The give goes to Abercrombie. Gets about 2. You see the clock at 1:50. Right. Now they stop it at 1:52.
Okay, San Francisco's now got 1 timeout left. Now, I think Pittsburgh is doing the right thing. Anderson he's deadly accurate. There's no problem with him kicking the field goal. But what you want to do is, what they're making San Francisco do is use up their 2 timeouts so they can't use them on offense.
You mentioned Anderson deadly accurate, but he's had more misses this season than in all of '83. And his kicking has been a little bit of a concern. Malone talking things over. Malone out of Arizona State. By golly, you have to give him some credit. He was on the hot seat today coming in here.
Steelers win. This will be Steelers' first win with Mark Malone as the starting quarterback.
This is the 12th meeting between these two teams in a series that goes back to '51. The 49ers won at Pittsburgh 28-24. On that occasion, the Steelers have won 3 of the last 4 games. The last meeting here was in '78, and Pittsburgh won it 24-7.
Jay, if I were Mark Malone right now, there's Gary Anderson. He's been in this spot before. If I were Mark Malone, I'd take the ball, go 2 steps to my left, and fall down so that you're right in the middle of the field.
Aaron Berg and Corley are now in the backfield. Malone.
Over on the ball.
He's got it inside the 5 to the 4. Timeout San Francisco. 1:45 to play. Keena Turner, 58, made the tackle.
Okay, Pittsburgh's now got San Francisco down to no timeouts. They're on the left hash mark, which is where they want to be. Anderson, a right-footed kicker. It's all set up. Everything is perfect. All they got to do is execute.
Talked about kicking here in this stadium with the swirling winds. This end of the field where Anderson is going to be kicking is said to be the best end, although you get some very contrasting view problems as a kicker because of the signs and the message board behind there. But they say that end of the field has less of the swirling winds than does the right end as we view it today.
Yeah, but you know a plus down at this end, Jay? At the other end of the field, in the middle of the field, right at about where Anderson would kick, he is standing on the pitcher's mound, which has been resodded.
This is the old grass
here.
Right.
This is the outfield. Now, I want to remind everyone of the new rule in the NFL that a player cannot run from behind the defensive line of scrimmage, jump, and try to block a kick. So they got to get pressure up through the middle.
The holder will be Colquitt. Anderson will attempt from the 22. Pittsburgh leads.
What a performance.
22-yard field goal for Anderson. And the Steelers are back in the driver's seat. San Francisco out of timeouts. 1:42 remaining in regulation time.
What a performance. Well, you just can't say enough of those guys in the Black Hats today. They have not given up. They've had how many drives of 6 minutes or more? Kept the offense off the field. Watch Gary Anderson. This is a chip. This is a 2-foot putt. This is a gimme. Yes, sir. Nothing to it. 1:42 left now. San Francisco with no timeouts.
Chuck Noll has got to be extremely proud of his guys.
You're right. You're right. Now, if you're Bill Walsh, you've already practiced. Pittsburgh has 4 drives of 6 minutes or more today. You've already practiced this situation. The
2-minute offense, sideline, right?
Yep, you're right. See, because they have no timeouts, they got to use this sideline. He's got some trick plays in there, though. Remember a play run by Miami a number of years ago against San Diego, that hook and lateral that they ran with Tony Nathan? Well, Walsh put that in first. They're dangerous in this spot.
Anderson to kick off to Harmon and Monroe. A low kick, and it is picked up by Monroe. Monroe at the 20, at the 25. Getting a little rough out there. Chris Brown, 23 on the tackle. Ball just over the 25-yard line, and the 49ers without any timeouts and a minute and 36 left in regulation time.
San Francisco players do not try to gain inches. You want to save seconds. Pittsburgh, keep them in bounds. Take your time. They'll have 3 plays called and an automatic play and then throw one out of bounds.
Ronaldo Nehemiah is in the game as one of the wide receivers. He's on the near side. Montana's in a lot of trouble. He throws, and it is complete. First down at the 38-yard line to Dwight Clark. Hinkle, the linebacker, 53 on the tackle. 1 minute and 20 seconds to play.
Pittsburgh has an advantage. San Francisco will stay in the same formation throughout this 2-minute drill. Earl Cooper.
Montana throws out to Cooper. Cooper at the 42. Couldn't get out of bounds.
Should have run straight to the sideline, Jay.
Merriweather and Woodruff on the tackle. 58 seconds remaining.
Same formation.
Montana throwing it to the far sideline and getting out of bounds. That time was Earl Cooper. First down, 46 seconds left. Hinkle, the linebacker, had the coverage. It was Hinkle that came up with the big interception, his second in as many weeks, that got Pittsburgh into position.
All right, they need about 25, maybe 30 yards to be in Washington's range. And this season, Washington is 1 for 1, over 50. He's 3 for 5 from 40 to 49.
Earlier in this game, he kicked a 52-yarder. It was waved off because of a procedure call. First and 10 at the 49, 46 seconds left. 49ers without any timeouts.
4-man rush by Pittsburgh.
Downfield, complete. No, he was out of bounds. He was out of bounds.
Good call.
Didn't get both feet down.
Didn't get 1 foot down, Jay.
Eric Williams on the coverage. There you see, was out of bounds.
An interesting situation. If he'd been hit in the air, they would have counted that as a reception.
That's right, because they would have indicated that the play had carried him out of bounds.
The tackle would have. Yes, you're right.
Clark, 87. Nehemiah, 83. And Wilson, 85 are all in there. Freddie Solomon has been missing today.
Craig.
Over the middle to Craig. And this is going to eat up a lot of clock. Tackle made by Lambert, 58. Inside 30 seconds. You see the clock running. 20 seconds. Montana throws it outside and out of bounds with 15 seconds. Goes number 89, Cooper. Washington ran him out. And they are getting very, very close to Wersching's range.
It'd be 48 yards right now.
Now, do you try it right here, or do you try one more play?
No. Coaches will say generally you need 6 seconds to get that kick off. 6 seconds. So you try it one more time. And, of course, the thing you can't do is look around for the secondary receiver. If he's not there, you throw it out of bounds.
Washington romps over Dallas. That's the final. 20-17 Pittsburgh. Montana throwing, and out of bounds goes Clark with 10 seconds left to play.
That's Cooper, same play. They ran a little screen on the defensive back.
It was Cooper. They sent both Clark and Cooper in that zone over there.
Here comes Washington.
All right, Ray Wersching, 12-year veteran, free agent. Had 4 years at San Diego, played across the bay at Cal Berkeley. Wersching,
3 of 4 from 30 to 39. This is 37.
Montana will hold. 37-yarder on the way. No! It is a disconsolate bunch of 49ers and a celebration on the field for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look at these Steelers. They came in here big underdogs. Took a real beating last Sunday. Here's Wersching. You'll watch it. Had plenty on it, but he knew he had kicked it to the left of the bar.
Jay, from my experience with kickers, it's not the kicking foot, it's the planting foot that makes that thing hook to the left. Chuck Noll's got to be proud of his charges today. I mean, they lose a tight end. They got 4 rookies starting on offense. David Woodley's out. Mark Malone starts. Lambert comes back, and this team played a marvelous football game.
Montana was 6 out of 7 in that drive, 53 yards. But this one is all over, and a sellout crowd has watched a big upset here this afternoon. The Steelers, leading the AFC Central, go to 4-3. San Francisco is 6-1.